new home of the Howard Stern Show. Mornings.
Rock solid.
Miami,
so let me ask you, anything interesting going on there?
No, nothing.
Oh, it's Howard. Howard Sperm.
560 WQAM presents Shack Attack, an all-new CD featuring the entire WQAM Sport Hole staff singing in praise of Shaq to their favorite hits.
He'd be the man, chicken onion run all over town. All the lemons in this town worshipping a big black clown. Wanna kiss it? His contract demands that he can have sex with your woman.
That is bad. And I don't mention that. He makes us hot. He's a man in the outside. Outside.
Well, he's a lumbering giant who's as dumb as a yak. Just the same, we'd like the praise and voice of the Shack. I'm a fag in love with Shack. Formal fag in love with Shack.
Rectum.
Formal fag. Formal fag. In love with Shack.
Let me tell you, Humpty Dumpty is at it again, I guess, just stirring the
crap.
Yeah, all he can. This one, we had a great book. The spring book was phenomenal. We had these great numbers all across the board. Even the moaning didn't do too bad, especially thanks to Joe. Oh, remember Joe Rose? He's gone. won't hear him no more. He's on the ticket. Maybe with John Kerry. He's on the ticket starting September 1, ESPN Radio. Just what we need, another sports station.
Right. Can there be too many?
Well, I think what we need now, we need to have another sports station for all the people getting dumped off QAM. Doesn't that make a good idea, sense to you?
You can kiss my rear end.
Rectum.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave that up to Duff, okay? Duff Lindsay is in Naples today, and maybe tomorrow for sexual orientation retraining to prepare him for being Duff the dump monkey. I don't know if I should have said that because it sounded like it might have something to do with crap, and we shouldn't want to say that. Duff the... No, see, there you go again. You just can't control it. I haven't been on for 3 minutes yet. Yeah, blow this.
No.
God almighty, what a lunatic, what a maniac. So anyway, every time I go on vacation, the stuff hits the fan. Now you can play that. Right, there it is. That was the stuff hitting the fan. Right. As Greg Reed just continues, everything was going along so fantastically well, number one in men, everybody's kicking ass, and now and don't get me wrong, I'm all excited about Howard Stern coming. I'm not taking back anything I ever said about him or that show. But I'm delighted for a multitude of reasons. You know, in life you have to look at the positives and the negatives, right?
Right.
And I don't see any downside for us. We get the best lead-in in morning radio in America. There's no question about that. I mean, it ain't my cup of tea. I'm not going to be listening, and I'm sure you aren't either. And even Josh Cordes there might, I don't know. What
I'll be listening a little bit, only because I want to make sure that there's a uniform standard, No,
I'm not playing that game. We'll let the Duff monkey worry about that. Duff leopard, whatever he's going to be doing. No, I'm not playing that game. Don't start treading into that territory if you're a wise man. See what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not.
You let Duff and Howard handle that together again, and Robin and all those people. In addition to which, of course, Howard Stern ends his show whenever he feels like it. Like 10:15, 10:25, 10:30, 10:45, maybe 11 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah, and of course that don't bother me none, because my motto is less work and more pay. That's been my motto for a long time. So I have only this to say.
All right.
Although it would have been nice if it would have been done the right way, if people would have been consulted and discussed with intelligently and openly and honestly like adults, but that's not the Greg Reed, effing way. Everything always has to be subversive and behind closed doors and sprung as a big surprise, and it's a big, deep, dark secret, although I did know about it a week before you did, I will say that. And didn't I do a good job of keeping it secret?
Yeah, never called me once.
I didn't call you several things, but not about that. Just like we also are under penalty of death for discussing the suspension of on our radio station. We absolutely cannot discuss any of that. Now, we can mention the fact, see, what bothers me a lot, some of you real wusses that we got on this station, including Big Bo Camper there, and the Big, I mean, he's just a total sellout. And you people kissing his ass this morning, oh, man, that was disgusting. Well, when are you going to have your own show? And then he had that professional sports nerd fartser caller, Carl. You know the one I'm talking about?
I don't.
He had him on for about 15 minutes, made me almost pining for Juan from Little Havana. Oh, good. No, seriously, these chronic callers, man, they're just a killer. Maybe Fay Wray ran into one of them. King Kong damsel, Fay Wray is dead. But you know how old she was?
96.
96. 96. Big ape, big building, and a big set of lungs is what it says here. Wow.
They weren't that big.
She died Sunday at her Manhattan apartment. Close friend Rick McKay, director of her last film, found her. He found her dead. Few cinematic images have had the iconic staying power of a shrieking blonde squeezed in the mighty paw of a giant gorilla as he climbed to the top of the Empire State Building. Oh, and by the way, let me say this to you. If you had a whole bunch of terrorist warnings and thought that all these buildings in New York were going to be like any second now that we're going to have a terrorist attack, wouldn't you reopen the Statue of Liberty for the first time since 9/11? That sounds like a good idea to me.
And I'd send my wife there to the ceremony. And
I have all those helicopter tours over the city, too, especially since we think that helicopters are going to be used by Al-Qaeda. But nevertheless, the hairy star of King Kong, 1933's classic clash of man versus nature, might have monopolized the screen, but audiences were as mesmerized as Kong himself by the squirming and sexy Fay Wray, whose beauty enchanted the beast despite her piercing screams of terror. She died Sunday in New York at age 96. She began her career in the silent era, appeared in more than 70 films, and that's all you want to know. Fay Wray, she's dead. Now, beaded curtain time. We got Joan Severance. And George came up with a fairly amusing line before the show. He said we're going to give Joan a severance package, is what he said.
Or
speaking of Pharrell.
Nice segue.
Yeah, I saw he made pretty well on your poll the other day about who ought to team up with Mo in the afternoon in case, well, we can't...
Yes, it is a fantasy poll, you understand.
Oh, no, but I interrupted myself before, which I have a bad habit of doing, and that is all you wusses on this radio station, at least mention the fact that Mo Howard David is filling in for Hank Goldberg. You don't have to mention the suspended Hank Goldberg because they get real nervous about that, but at least mention that he's still alive, okay? He's still fat, he's still around, and he's still alive, all right? I'm hearing Bo Camper, and then I don't know about Mad Dog. Mad Dog will be on today, one of his rare cameo appearances. He's on even less than I am. And, of course, I guess after that stellar month of June he had in the book, he had a gigantic June. All his relatives must have got diaries. You see that?
Yep.
He was numero uno on the station in those 2 hours in June. Huh?
Phenomenal.
Probably because Curtis was on a lot, I think. Joan Severance, born December 23rd, 1958, which makes her 45 going on 46, right around Christmas time. Xmas. The Last Sunset's the movie she's making right now. It's in post-production in case anybody cares. Do you care? No.
No.
Well, this picture we got of her was quite some years back on Behind Our Beaded Curtain. If you're over the age of 95 and you got 17 forms of ID and John Ashcroft ain't going to roll his eyes too much, and keep your hands under keep them to yourself. Mystery Woman on TV. Cause of Death. The Last Seduction. The Next Wave, The Love Boat. Oh, no wonder I didn't like her. Life of the Party, the Pamela Harriman story. In Dark Places, Matter of Trust, Black Scorpion 2, Aftershock, Profile for Murder, and a whole bunch of made for TV. She had a zillion, I would tell you.
About 30, man.
30,000 different movie and TV credits, and there she is, Joan Severance. What did I say she had? Measurements, by the way, 34C, 2335. Oh. And whatever happened to all of those rumors, too, about that goofball?
What goofball?
34C.
Yeah, what about that?
Never heard anything.
Yeah, you did. Don't you remember that was a part of the new progressive Al Watcher back in
that was baseless.
That was all a bunch of crap. I'm going to come back and kick everybody's ass. Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to tell you, he's going to be Mo's sidekick. Oh, that's right. He's not going to have a sidekick because he's only to fill in. He's only to filling in. Although Defoe is the rumor. But nevertheless, We don't want to put out a lot of stuff on the air, okay? I just wish my good friends well, okay? I hope they get their just desserts, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody should get what they deserve, isn't that
That's
what
right.
Fox
I hope the good people get the good stuff and the bad people get the evil that they deserve well. I don't want to mention the Beasleys or anybody like that. I do want to mention that Mo Howard David had a year and a half left on his contract when they sired Howard Stern for the morning, and since somebody else had only a couple of months left on his contract, that may figure in there somewhere. I don't know. I can't talk about it, though. Now, there's an article by Greg Kotex, who's a real major hole in the Herald this morning. How will Ricky repay the team? Well, I don't give a flying crap about Ricky, okay? But there are a couple of interesting things in here. Huh?
You don't?
No, I don't. I don't give a flying crap about or Ricky. How do you like them apples, huh? How do you like them hot tamales? Well, before we do the Greg Kotex stuff, Greg, you're an imbecile, man. Maybe it goes with the name, you think? That must be going around. It's a Greg disease. George's pool yesterday, twin sex. Now, you must have been thinking about this when you saw the picture of those identical twins on the back that I have nailed up on the wall there. What's their names?
I don't know.
Just a joke. You're not, but I got that calendar.
Right, it's covered up, though.
Twin sex is great, but only if it's two hot chicks. 845 people said that. Disgusting insects. Insects.
Yes, they are.
185. Great, but only if it's two hot guys. 54.
Oh!
Okay if they're identical but not in fraternal, 45. And okay if it's fraternal twins of the opposite sex, 25. Out of 1,154 votes. What prompted that poll? Is that about the Bush sisters?
Yeah, sure, why not?
No, seriously, what prompted that?
There's a twin angle on the Big Brother show this time.
Now, the Big Brother show?
Yeah, they got some hot twin girls in there.
Oh, man.
And so I got a fantasy about the hot girls doing it. Although the Bush twins will do.
So Greg Kotex writes, in his own insipid way, in the middle of these little bullet points, because he's got nothing to say, he says, notice how it's been a lot less windy lately, or is it that Hank Goldberg's been off the air? Talk about hitting the guy while he's down, talking about a gratuitous shot. Nice going, Greg, you imbecile, you simpleton, simpering idiot. Speaking of which, he says, with Howard Stern about to join Neil Rogers in the lineup, shouldn't we stop referring to WQAM as an all-sports station? Let me ask you this. Do we ever refer to QAM as an all-sports station?
No. They do.
No, they do, but what do we care? He says, shouldn't we stop referring to QM as an all-sports station? Let me say this to you, Greg Kotex, and also Jim Sarney and Barry Jackass, all you other professional sports nerds out there. Oh, we just have to have sports on, sports, 24 hours a day. You're full of crap. It's the most boring garbage, man. Just like this morning, I'm hearing the big rambling on there in his boring monotone about the Dolphins this and the Dolphins that, and they'll be lucky to win 7 games, and Dave Wannstedt's a hole and all this other stuff, which we already know that. And Ricky, you know. Maybe we could get, what's his name, to play football. What do you think?
It's been discussed.
Line his fat head up there, right on the line. He could be the center
of attention.
10:13 at 560 WQM. You're really screwed up. Not all sports anymore stations starting August 16 with Howard Stern in the morning. He can go as long as he wants. If he wants to go on to 145, sounds good to me. Just get those checks in there, Clarence. You know, when you're moving or renovating, that's the best time to dial 1-800-MATTRESS. Make that first night in your dream house heavenly with a brand new top-quality brand name mattress from Dial a Mattress. You pick the date and time for delivery to fit your move-in schedule, and Dial a Mattress is on time 99.7% of the time. What's not to like? Nobody's got a better selection of queen and king-size mattress sets ready for immediate delivery than our friends at Dial a Mattress. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS right now, you'll get a great mattress at a discount price. Dial a Mattress is ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. They were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from the complete line of Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, and Stearns Bananas Foster. Everybody around QAM is called 1-800-MATTRESS for our beds. You ought to be doing the same, too, because you never know when it's going to be time to go to the mattresses. Log on to mattress.com or give them a call right now, toll-free, 1-800-MATTRESS, and ensure yourself a great night's sleep for months and years to come with that one easy phone call, 1-800-MATTRES, or online, mattress.com.
We're Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Get off this instant. Rectum.
Every day the news is warning we have a yellow light. That must be they have something to hide. That's how they manipulate headlines with streaming every kind of subterfuge. News yellow line.
Oh, my God.
The corporate media right, and that's why we have a yellow line. Can't explain the meaning of what these lights do. So Congress sits at his desk with a set of blow pens and noodles cartoons. Anytime they want to confuse the news, they have a yellow line. But that means something they can't define. That's why we have a yellow line, a big line. Anytime they want to confuse the
10:18 at 560 WQAM. We got a lot of stories about that, which I'm sure you've talked about exhaustively about the helicopters, like I said.
Yeah, a little bit. Not about the helicopters.
And about the leak about this guy, Muhammad Nur Khan. They're foaming at the mouth in Europe about that, especially the Brits. I do want to repeat something I've said a million times. You Brits are a bunch of silly twits. I have never, until this last European trip, which it will be my last for a long time, I'm just burnt out. A lot of Europeans really stink. But at any rate, the Brits are just so silly, it's pathetic. And Rupert Murdoch has taken that Sky News thing to a new level. Right-wing news for about 3 minutes out of each hour, and the rest of it is all stupid-ass sports. Cricket and football, that's with the U, of course. Soccer and cricket and rugby and soccer and cricket. And that's it. That's all they talk about. Man, and then there was a story about 130 cocklers got rescued over the weekend.
Beg your pardon?
Yes, cocklers.
What's that?
I have no idea. I guess they're like oyster fishermen, or I don't know. They go out there in the water and they search for something, and
like
you can use your own imagination. Okay,
cockle shells, I would imagine.
Is that what it is?
What
are cockle shells?
Well, here, I'm showing you.
No, seriously, what are they?
I don't know.
But that must, I think maybe you got your thumb on it. Maybe that's what that is.
What's that Irish drinking song? Don't they mention that?
I don't know. All I know is the Brits just make me nauseous, and man, they're fat and repulsive and
alive,
loud and drunk and just disgusting. That guy that called that day about the great British cuisine, you should live so long, Pally. Man, oh man, go eat your bangers and mash and get lost.
I think cockles are a kind of clam.
More victims of Hoosier Radio hoax surface. Don't want to get too many of these serious stories on here right off the bat. We don't want to offend those people that have been entertained by the Schmear the Queer and some. Right. I noticed you brought that one back again. Another poll. Very similar. Yeah, you did. I don't know what that was all about. Huh? It was something about toe wrestling and finger popping.
Oh, the manliest man contest.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. To determine the manliest
man. Can never
have
too much Schmear the Queer. Last week, investigators in Indianapolis filed 6 felony counts, 3 each for criminal confinement and identity deception. Have you heard this story?
No.
Against Richard Brown.
Yeah. Careful.
For luring people to his house under the guise of a radio contest. That's his name. Now, Dick Brown is facing 14 new felony charges as 7 more victims have come forward. Brown allegedly phoned the victims, offered them $50,000 or a new car, while posing as an employee of MSCHR radio station WNOU Radio Now. After arriving at his house, the victims, all male, were told to remove their clothing and to put on a very small T-shirt. Sounds like an idea he got from Duff. Authorities believe there may be more victims who are too embarrassed to come forward. Brown was already on home detention for a recent criminal confinement conviction. The scam surfaced July 29 when a man who went to Brown's residence noticed his ankle monitor. He told police that the doors were locked when he tried to leave, but he eventually was able to get out and drive away. Yeah, take off your clothes and put on a T-shirt about 2 sizes too small, and then we'll see what happens from there. Here's today's poll, speaking of that, speaking of Richard Brown. I love that thing about Duff the Dump Monkey. I guess you've already discussed this on the air?
Well, we didn't discuss who it was going to be.
Well, I thought it was a big, deep, dark secret. See, this is what happens at QAM. Anytime I get one of these frantic calls, it's either Duff or Duff and Clarence together. Never Greg, of course, because Greg does not, he's too nervous to confabulate with me. He's not on my level. He's an idiot. Not that Duff and Clarence are on my level, but nevertheless, or anybody else's level for that matter. I get one of these breathless calls, oh, this is top secret, and don't say a word. And then it's either in Barry Jackass's column the next morning, or everybody in the building is talking about it. You know, just like the thing about Mofo.
Right.
The Mo and Defo show. Mofo, what else would you call it? Because I think that fits it to a T.
Right. You get Mofo your money.
Here's our poll today. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern. WQAM brings back Howard Stern. Next Monday, August 16, by the way. 6 to whenever he gets done. The Heat get Shaq. Ricky Williams retires. The Marlins win the World Series. And are we allowed to talk about the Marlins anymore or not?
I'll go ask.
Yeah, go get a memo from Joyce over there in Naples.
Can't mention any manager.
Joyce is probably busy orienting Muff.
Okay.
And the last choice on our poll, Howard David fills in for suspended Hank Goldberg. Let me read that one again. Howard David fills in for suspended Hank Goldberg. That's the last of our choices. There might be some other big things happening last year in South Florida. Maybe an oversight. We'll find out from our audience, since I see we have just tremendous number of calls coming in, don't we?
Yep.
How have the calls been so far this summer?
Brutal.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, just mostly cranks, you know.
No, come on.
Okay.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Howard Sperm is coming to QM starting next Monday, and you mean to say these lines aren't foaming at the mouth? Haven't you had a lot of conversation about that?
Oh, yeah. How's Neil going to feel about having to wait to come on?
I think it's great. I hope he goes on to like 155.
Right.
Sounds good to me. Line 9, WQAM, hello.
My daughter was born last year.
Okay, good. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. George did a great job. Thank you very much for clearing up what the heck is going on in that station with that whole question answer that you just gave us.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Neil. Love you very much. Bye.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, there you go. Oh, and speaking of, I got to tell you a little story, okay?
All right.
I don't want to digress, but this made me so nauseated. I'm out at Woodbine Casino playing my slots like the old fag that I am. And there, for whatever reason, I've told you the Chinese travel in packs.
Yes, they do.
Always a lot of Chinese.
Mutual protection there.
And a lot of Italians, for whatever reason. I don't know if they're touristas or they're from, we have a huge Italian...
Italians travel in a mob? Is that what you're saying?
That might be it. But at any rate, so I'm sitting at my machine the other day, and here comes this family. They're always in groups. Here's Mamacita and the daughter. You would have liked the daughter. She's a little bit too young, probably, about, I don't know, 17. She was cute. She looked like a little like Christina Aguilera, only cuter.
I'm patient.
But at any rate, and so they're playing Wheel of Fortune right next to me, okay? Now, Mama sits down, and of course the abuela is sitting there too. I don't know what they call it in Italiano, but grandmama, she's sitting there, and there's about 4 of them. And now the little girl, who's about 17, she's hanging on a mama who's playing a machine like Stink on Duff, okay? And she's going, big bucks, big bucks. And I'm thinking to myself, if I ever doubted the impact of television destroying the minds of people all around the world. No, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Big bucks, big bucks. And she's not even spinning the wheel at this point. She's just playing, on the line. She's just doing the big bucks, big. And then she would kiss her on the cheek. I mean, this girl must have kissed her mother about
30, man.
every minute.
For luck?
You know what I'm saying?
Buck luck?
What is that?
I don't know. Maybe
No,
it's
seriously,
thing.
What is that all about?
Big bucks.
Oh, brother, it was the most, and I'm thinking to myself, just lose, just lose, go away. That's the immediate thing comes to my mind. Lose real fast, don't get any spins. Oh, they got to spin. Big bucks, big bucks.
$8.
Yeah, big bucks. Oh, brother. Take your TV and put it in the bottom of the pool. Do everybody a favor, please. Well, listen, when you got the award-winning lineup we got now on QAM and all the good stuff going on that we can't talk about.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM. What a joke. What an embarrassment.
Ricky Williams said goodbye to football.
Hey, stop it.
Oh, Ricky, how can you do this? I want to stroke your legs and sniff your crack with my greasy nose. But you'd rather smoke a spliff. Now I'm pulling up my flag for the season. You dashed my hopes of manly bliss. Tears well up in my eyes for no apparent reason. As I bust another dish. There's no AC in my trailer, and then I find you're no longer here. You validate my life as a failure, and broke the hearts of all the sports queers. I don't want to fantasize about another job It's your toes I want in my mouth on behalf of undersized bags who like sport hole radio. Don't leave us like this. Now only Shaq's buns we can kiss.
Rectum.
By the way, a beautiful video there on our website. Where did we get that? The Ricky Williams tribute video?
Oh, we stole it from somebody else, you know.
That's a beautiful thing.
Sure, it's from, what is it, screwricky.com?
Yep. Screwricky.com?
That's the place.
Maybe that's what Duff is working on over there in Naples with Joyce. By the way, Joyce, bite me, okay? That's my message to you, honey. Loser. What she knows about broadcasting, you can put it in a thimble and have room for Hank's ass. How do you like that, Joyce? How do you like them fat apples?
Funny.
Silly bitch. So let's take a look at what we got here. I think this is going to be, I think you're right. I think everybody's on vacation, including everybody inside the building. In addition to which, like I said, Greg being the expert at doing the old Humpty Dumpty routine, when things get going real good, he breaks the egg into a million pieces and tries to put them back together again. We got Howard Stern coming. And we got us on the air whenever we're good and ready, whenever Howard feels like it every day, which is fine with us. And then we got the highly rated Mad Dog at 2, I believe.
All right.
Who shows up whenever he feels like it now. He's such a star. He'll be on today. Jim Mad Dog Mandich will be on at 2. And then at 4, of course, till 6:30, it's Mo Howard Davided filling in for the suspended Hank Goldberg. And then you got the Marlins on deck at 6:30. The Marlins host the Cardinals 7:05 tonight. Marlins kind of in a, I better not say that, huh? Probably get sued or something. And then Eddie K after the baseball game. Well, I can't say the Marlins are like only 500 and like 7.5 games out of first place and really kind of like floundering lately. In fact, the Marlins, it seems to me, I could be wrong, Josh Cordes, but it seems to me that their worst problem is when they play a crappy team. Montreal and Arizona, 2 of the worst teams in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
And when they play those teams, they like lose almost every game. Haven't they lost like 6 in a row to Montreal?
That's right.
Something like that. See, you have a little faith.
But don't worry, St. Louis is in first place, so we'll beat them.
Oh, there you go. The best record in baseball, the Cardinals will be in town tonight, so you better go over there and watch the game, all 10 of you. 41 votes on the poll, pretty weak. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? The Marlins win the World Series 10. The Heat gets Shaq 9. WQAM brings back Howard Stern 9. Third Channel dumps Stern 5. Mo Howard Davided fills in for suspended Hank Goldberg 5. And Ricky Williams retires only 3. Well, that's pretty shocking, ain't it?
Why is that?
What do you think? I mean, all the Ricky Williams furor there was there. Even Bush never saw a furor like that. Even when he was sitting there looking at Rumsfeld's picture. WQAM, hello.
Hi, I'd like to speak with Neil.
Speaking.
Neil, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, I used to listen to your show back in the late 90s, or around the time when Pee-wee got caught doing his thing up in the cinema up in Broward.
Yeah, great.
And, I just moved back to Florida from the military, and it's nice to hear you. George's been doing a great job, and it's good to hear you.
Okay. Thanks for the good news, whatever the hell you're talking about. 567-0560, pound Pee-wee's in Sarasota, by the way. WQAM, hello.
What's up, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a quick question, and I agree with you, and if I was in your position, I would agree with you the same way that you said that if Howard ends up at 1:59 p.m., you could care less.
1:59:45 sounds good to me.
But let me ask you something, because I've never heard you go from 10 to 3, because you would never do that. Does he get more money if he goes over, or what is his motivation to go over his
his motivation is he's got a big ego. That's his motivation. Is he's the king of the universe, and he goes.
So he likes to work for free?
Huh?
So he likes
when
to
you're
work for free?
when you're making the kind of money that he's making, about $30 million a year, you're not working for free, Pally. Figure it out by the minute.
So that's good. All right, Neil, I appreciate it, man. Keep doing your thing.
Okay, see ya. Hasta que mil vidas. Yeah, Howard's working for free for $30 million.
It's a bargain.
Yeah. In fact, I'll give you one of my Corvettes free for $40,000. How's that for a deal? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. You're right. We got the little core of Julio sitting out there and having their circle jerk, and that's about it.
Oh, the good ones haven't even started yet.
WQAM line 9. Hello.
Where do you see America?
WQAM on line 2 next. Hello. QAM. Going once. Going twice.
He's been calling every day.
Who's that?
The quiet man.
The whisperer? Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad he's still alive. On second thought, WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
All right.
Have you personally talked to Hank in the past couple weeks?
No, I have not. I've been in Europe, and no, I have not.
Man, I want Hank back. That is ridiculous. The ones with the big pair, they just run him off, you know? And in closing, Shamba Booey!
The reports are about the afternoon show. More cranks than anyone could ever have expected, including him. Yeah, and he doesn't really... Like, because the concentration is... it's a different audience.
Right.
People are awake.
Huh.
People are noticing the difference, that kind of thing.
Right. Well, how could you not?
Absolutely.
Huh? I mean, this is a guy that they wanted desperately to get out of there. Now they're going to put him on. In fact, we've got him on in Howard Drive. Holy Toledo, man, as Rick Weaver would say. I'll tell you one thing, that Mo ain't no Rick Weaver, guaranteed. Even George, who don't care about football, even he knows that. Why do you think the Dolphins have disintegrated so badly these last couple of seasons? You notice? You think it's just a coincidence? No. I think there's something to it.
Absolutely.
I think it's the Jets' curse that he brought. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? We've got a pretty paltry number here, 67 votes. I don't think there's anybody in town, you're right. I thought that June and July, like from the middle of June till the end of July, but I think maybe August, from now till Labor Day, is like Death Valley days.
It sure
Am
is.
I right?
The doldrums. The doldrums.
67 votes. The Marlins win the World Series, 23. WQAM brings back Howard Stern. Next Monday, by the way, August 16, a dozen. The Heat get Shaq, 11. Mo Howard David fills in for the suspended Hank Goldberg, 9. Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern, 7. And Ricky Williams retires only 5. Probably the Dolphin people got PO'd when they heard me make that intemperate comment about that chronic caller Carl that was on with the Big this morning. Or more likely, nobody was listening to the Big this morning because he's just terminal and don't belong on the air even to say hello and goodbye. He is just brutal. Get him off of there, Clarence, you idiot. Oh, and Gildy, by the way, speaking of the odd man out, who's on vacation this week, which it seems like everybody's on permanent vacation except Aerosmith. Gildy is still going to be hanging around. He's going to be doing a little of this, and the Panthers games, if they ever play again, which that ain't looking too good for a season this year, that's looking really, really slim and grim. But he'll be just kind of like hanging around, making those sounds. After all, if we didn't have Gildy, who could go like that, or... Huh? Yeah. After probably Harold Turkey Neck. WQAM, hello.
Morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to find out, what do you think, where America will be in November 2008 after the Bush wins the second time?
What do I think? What? This is the whisper.
Where we'll be in November 2008.
Where we'll be? I know where you'll be. Burning in hell, hopefully. Roasting and toasting like a human marshmallow. 20 till 11 at 560 WQAM. Oh, by the way, David Ross, you're still a real hole. That was nice. Now, we obviously got that from one of our inside
I don't know what you're talking
which we've got about
30, man.
That cheap channel. Every time they put one of those confidential memos out, you can be sure it'll be on our website on neilrogers.com.
And read on the air, which was
right, and read on the air numerous times.
Well, how about that wall of men? I thought you'd be interested about that.
Trying to rationalize about how Ron and old Paul are going to be just perfect for the morning. Ron and old Paul, who lost half of Howard's audience in the morning in the first book, in addition to which couldn't even be Jinx and Stinks there from Jacksonville with that redneck cowboy advice show that's on Zeta.
Dixie and Pixie.
Yeah, Dixie and Pixie, right. Got beat out by them on Zeta. How do you like that? So Ron and old Paul just trying to rationalize as always. Let's face it, David, you're an old toad is what you are. You're a silly old toad. That's what Norm Kent told me. Silly old clown. And nice going with that revolutionary programming with Randy on tape. And Al Franken doing his snooze, what is that, the siesta show? Ought to go over Big and Little Havana.
Oh, you must have heard it then.
No, I just heard the bits. Well, no, I did see him on TV. I told you during the convention.
Funny, though.
Democratic convention. Yeah. And he was whining, and he never answered the question. And it was a whine-off between him and, what's his name there on CNN?
Well, that performance was spectacular.
Aaron Brown with his red hair. Yeah, I've been telling you about A-Laser Recharge, the toner recharge cartridge specialist for the past few weeks. A lot of you have called that toll-free number, thank goodness, 1-800-287-9212, and you save a lot of money on your printing and office equipment supplies. For those of you who haven't called, what you be waiting for? A-Laser Recharge has got inkjets, thermocarbon paper supplies. They provide service support and maintenance for most makes and models of machines to make them run just like brand new again, including your fax machines down there at the station, which are all screwed up. When you call 1-800-287-9212, you'll deal with Just Bob. He's the sole owner, and he's been supplying businesses in South Florida with what they need in most cases within 24 hours for a coon's age. A-Laser Recharge can save you up to 50% on new cartridges as compared to depot pricing. And, mighty important, all the cartridges sold by A-Laser Recharge are remanufactured, not refilled. Anybody on a street corner can sell you a cheap refilled cartridge, but keep in mind, you only get what you pay for. Remanufactured cartridges are the way to go. A-Laser carries a complete line of cartridges for printers, copiers, and faxes, along with Brother and Xerox drums, too. A-Laser Recharge are proud of their individualized service. They offer you no questions asked satisfaction guarantee, too. So if you need toner, cartridges, or anything else, pick up that phone and call Just Bob from A-Laser Recharge at 1-800-287-9212. That's 1-800-287-9212, or check them on the web at alaserrecharge.com.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Difficult place. People are tense, rude, and irritable. But now there's hope. It's the Teresa Heinz Carey Book of Etiquette. Here's your chance to learn from one of the etiquette trendsetters of our day.
If someone irritates you, take a deep breath, smile at them, and then rip their heart out.
The Teresa Heinz Carey Book of Etiquette gives you hints on how to handle awkward social situations.
Oh, just shove it.
The Teresa Heinz Carey Book of Etiquette.
I don't have time for all this. Let me finish. Shut up. Hello, I am Teresa Heinz Carey. I know 5 languages. That makes me smarter than you. I am a billionaire. That makes me richer than you. I have been married to 2 politicians. That makes me a whole lot unhappier than you. So just buy my damn book, sit down, and shut up. And if you don't like what I am saying, shove it!
The Teresa Heinz Carey Book of Etiquette is available wherever fine books.
Shut up!
And don't mess with her Xbox or you're going to get it, I'll tell you that. How do you like that story?
Yeah.
In Deltona, no less. Well, it's just a place to stay away from, I think.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anywhere near Orlando, just stay the hell away from it. A U.S. senator asked the White House to explain how and why the name of an al-Qaeda informant was leaked to the press amid concerns that it hurt the war on terror, a letter from the lawmaker showed on Monday, yesterday. A Pakistani intelligence source said on Friday that U.S. officials confirmed the name of captured al-Qaeda suspect Muhammad Nur Khan while he was still cooperating with Pakistani authorities as part of a sting operation against Osama Yamama's al-Qaeda network, thereby compromising his cover. Did you see what they did? They had him contact by computer all of these slime balls. The only problem being that Tom Ridge and all these idiots here in the U.S., they decided to get the breathless story out there. See what we're doing? What did I tell you a couple months ago? We had those stories about the tremendous pressure they're bringing on the Pakistanis. If they can't at least get Osama by Election Day, get some big fish. So they got their hooks out. It's not clear who was the first to disclose Khan's name, but his unmasking triggered criticism on both sides of the political spectrum, as well as speculation about the motives behind the leak. There's nothing like a bad leak. Security and terrorism are top issues for both parties in this year's U.S. presidential elections. I respectfully request an explanation to me and any other member of Congress who might wish one of who leaked this Mr. Khan's name, for what reason it was leaked, and whether reports that this leak compromised future intelligence activity are accurate, Chuck Schumer of Democrat New York wrote. Information from computer expert Khan led the U.S. to issue a high alert at financial institutions against a possible al-Qaeda attack earlier this month, and led Britain to arrest 12 al-Qaeda suspects. But they do it differently over there. Even though the Brits are silly-ass people, nevertheless, when it comes to their law enforcement, they got a leg up. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
They got a leg up.
Must be those hacks.
Helicopter tours proceed despite warnings. Let me say it again. And there was, I saw it myself live on CNN, which is just so pathetic, but it's on Sky News. I saw it myself. Tom Ridge comes out there, and there's no room for partisan politics in Homeland Security, and then he comes on. It was because of the tremendous efforts and the great job that the president's doing on fighting terrorism that we're able to bring you this information. Right.
That 3-year-old, 4-year-old information?
Right. Helicopter tours proceed despite warnings. Tourists boarded helicopters for sightseeing tours of the New York area yesterday, despite reports that al-Qaeda had considered using tour copters in terrorist attacks. We're all here and we're all together, said Giselle Dorte of Martinique, who boarded a Liberty Helicopter Tours chopper with her family. The FBI sent 2 bulletins Friday night to police and other government officials nationwide. The first warned of a possible helicopter threat in a U.S. city. Al-Qaeda has apparently considered the use of helicopters as an alternative to recruiting operatives for fixed-wing aircraft, said a bulletin obtained yesterday by the ANP. The second bulletin warns that terrorists have also considered using rental vehicles, rental limousines, to conceal powerful bombs. Una bomba grande. And just like I said about the Statue of Liberty, it would make sense to me if we really believe those 4-year-old targets. in New York City are valid currently, that we would reopen the Statue of Liberty since it's been closed since the day after 9/11, and only reopened just a few days ago, right on the heels of Tom Ridge's breathlessness, hysterical announcement. Right. Just like Michael Moore says, keep them panicky, keep them scared, keep them in a state of psychosis. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got name for y'all list.
A name?
Not a name, but
an event?
Yeah, an event.
And what is that?
Well, it was when 940 closed down, and I had to listen to you guys so much. I mean, you guys are just in chaos, and I really wish I could go back home to my old station. All right.
Go back home. Go back to. But you know something? After their progressive radio Air America takes a big dump, they'll probably go right back to RFX. So just stay tuned, man.
Well, I hope they do. I mean, because this is just the same. I want sports radio, and that's the
sports radio, baby. There ain't nothing like sports radio. Hey, listen, go get a book, and maybe somebody will read it to you, schmuck. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Maybe if there was anybody listening to WRFX to all sports radio in the first place, maybe they wouldn't have changed the format. How do you like that, punk? Idiot. Moron. In fact, Mo is on this afternoon. Now, is he on? He's doing solo right now until they bring in Defoe?
Yeah.
Oh, God, you got to be schmitting me. That is
absolutely
pathetic. Mo in the afternoon all by his lonesome. That is frightening. Scary thought. And then we got Mo and alone, then we got the big in the morning. This last guy had a good point, I think. I think the ticket's going to kick our ass. Just when we see, I don't see. Greg Reed is a crazy person. Let me just state that without any shadow of a doubt. He's a crazy person, and he must have naked pictures of all the Beasleys, including what's her name, Joyce over there with Billy Goats or something, because he's got them wrapped around his little finger, and all the other fingers too. And every time he comes up with some crazy cockamamie idea just to blow up the whole radio station, just when we you know, if they wanted to be the sports station, didn't we own the market? Huh? I mean, this station was like the cash cow. We were making all that money, the millions, so that they could afford the franchises, the Dolphins, and all this other crap, so they could play sports radio. And now all of a sudden he decides, well, sports radio is a very expensive way to go, and all this other. He doesn't know what the hell he wants. He doesn't know which hand to wipe with. And now, of course, with all this stuff going on, guess where Greg's on? He's on vacation. All this garbage that's going on. The audience in a state of total confusion and chaos and turmoil. Even the Muffmeister offered to me that this could be a worst possible time to be off the air. Of course, I can't mention the name or why he's off the air, even though he is suspended. Can I mention it? Who? Exactly. 5670560. Pound 560. You sports nerds, man. Bye-bye. Go to, and one thing I do want to say, I'd be remiss not to say, Joe Rose did a great job, man.
Yes, he did.
Seldom has a guy done such a good job who's been so poorly treated, so badly screwed over.
And he happens to be a really good guy.
Yeah, we like Joe. Joe's fine people. He's always been good to us. Yes. He's got a good sense of humor. He gets it. Doesn't take it too seriously. But unfortunately, he was led down the garden path, and now all of those meetings that didn't take place and all of Greg going into hiding under the desk, hiding under Luann's skirt, all of these things that were going on, now it comes to find out, and we see the reason why. Because while he was, covering his own ass, trying to keep Joe Rose on in case maybe we couldn't pull off the deal with...
Hey, it's Howard. Howard Sperm.
Well, then we were just playing him along like a sucker. But Joe, being the wise guy that he is, he took off. Was it a week ago Saturday was his last broadcast on QM, I believe?
That sounds about right.
I read it on the paper. I read everything online because nobody inside knows anything.
Well, we knew we were just not allowed to say.
I see. Well, we can't say crap anymore. And what's really interesting about this is that this company, which is putting Howard Stern on the air right now, when it comes to everything else, they're like peeing in their pants. If you fart the wrong flavor, like having a meeting with Joyce in Naples over there, the corporate attorney, to find out if we're going to get fined for it being the wrong flavor. While I was on vacation, poor little George and Josh Cornish there had to be called on the carpet, and I don't know if I can talk about it or not, but I will anyway, about some big-nosed yid out there got upset about something you said. What did you say? Jews have big noses?
Something like that, yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
And I also said they were cheap.
Yeah. And you said, as far as the Israelis are concerned, and Ariel Sharon, Kachachoy. So what's wrong with that? I second that emotion. Maybe that's why I got that call from Gary Sarner. Don't you ever call me at home again, Gary Sarner, you crazy bastard. I'll come over there and unkosher your house.
How's that
That's
done?
right. I'm going to send a bunch of crazy Arabs in there to unkosher his house, just out of spite.
What did you do, just like throw cheese around?
Calls me, leaves a message on my answering machine here yesterday. Thank the Lord. Thank
Oh, God.
That I wasn't home when that call came in. That doesn't tell me what he's calling about. Doesn't come in before the show this morning, which our good friend Troy the Boy comes in. Troy Stratford, who's one of the only rational salespeople that we got. In fact, he may be the only one. Am I leaving anybody out?
Well, did I tell you about Highboy being in the hospital?
No, again?
Again, yeah. What's that minor stroke? You might have had one. It's a TIA.
TIA?
Yeah.
I've had two of those.
He had one.
Hiya, Pally!
I can't imagine why. He had a stroke?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
But he didn't die.
Yeah. What did he say when he woke up?
Hiya, Pally!
And he's still in the hospital now?
Yeah, as far as I know.
I'd say we wish him all the best, but we've said that so many times. Quit eating, you fat tub of crap, will you please? Quit eating. Enough of the eating already. I'll see you at Tim Hortons for lunch. What a joke. So he's back in the hospital again. That place is just... That last caller there, I want to apologize on your behalf. Because he had his thumb right on the whole deal.
I apologize.
Right. WRFX. In fact, maybe they ought to go starting Monday when Stern comes on our station, they ought to go back to the all sports thing again. Kick our ass. And then when the ticket comes on, that ESPN radio that nobody listens to, Joe's going to have a following. He'll have some audience. And do you see who's the PD over there, the Brain Trust?
Yes, indeed. Our good
Stu
friend.
Gotts. Oh, man, I wonder if Clarence is still going to be feeding them guests over there at the ticket with his boyfriend, Stu Gotts. Hey, over the years, you've heard me tell you about Chuck Alfieri and his patented hair systems. Charles Alfieri, simply the best in the business for over 35 years, providing amazing natural-looking hair systems that are virtually 100% undetectable, is introducing the latest development in hair restoration. It's called the new Laser Light Therapy Treatment. It's used for treating fine and thinning hair. Now, this new treatment that is FDA certified restores hair and scalp back to its healthiest state while increasing hair shaft density and volume. And who would want to increase the density of their shaft? The new laser light therapy and its cool light laser device is effective on both men and women as a painless, non-invasive treatment that is complete in about a half an hour. Charlie and his staff have witnessed dramatic results with this new system that impedes hair fallout for those with fine and thinning hair. So stop thinking that by some type of miracle your thinning hair is just going to stop falling into the sink, shower, or whatever. Give Charlie a call and learn more about the new laser light therapy treatments and how it can solve your thinning hair problems. It truly can change your life and the way you look. Call that toll-free number. There's no obligation. Call 1-800-321-2413. That's 1-800-321-2413, or on the web, it's charlesalfieri.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. WQAM.
It's Howard. Howard David.
Boy, I think this new government might be a waste of time. Bush thinks that will fix things up. Sure out of his mind, yeah. There'll still be chaos over there. There'll still be bullets in your hair. I don't want to hear from Bush that he's restoring peace. How will we know we've succeeded with that new democracy? I guess we'll know we've succeeded when you see more Mickey D's. McDonald's.
You'll be pleased to know that America is exporting death at a rapid rate, more so than ever before, man. We're killing them all over the world. There are Mickey D's and Burger King's popping up everywhere. Aren't you excited?
Oh, yeah, at least about the Mickey D's part.
Exporting death. What do you mean by that?
Oh, just a little shot.
Here's a fax that says, why is suspended? Or was he fired? Why was either Mo or Geldy during the 5 to 8 show, but they didn't do it together the past couple of weeks, and it says, no Mo Big, is what it says. Well, it's all over the place. We can't tell you anything, okay, because we don't know about, and we sure don't know about that, okay? That's the new QM effing way. We're going to be really raucous and cutting edge and outrageous and putting a Howard Stern show on in the morning, but as far as anything else, we can't say crap. Does that make sense to you? No. In other words, we lie a lot, which is the Greg Reed motto anyway, right? So why the hell shouldn't we just go along with it?
Why not?
Let's see, here's another one. It says, important event, Florida to me. Jeb Bush decides to reduce federal and state funding for all early intervention programs for autistic children under 3 years old. My son is 2 years old and is autistic. I can now say goodbye to about $50,000 a year funding for treatments and therapies. Looks like Jeb wants Florida children like my son to wind up in a vegetative state like his brother W. It says, I'm thoroughly PO'd, is what it says. And I don't blame you, sir. More power to you. Good luck to you. Vote 70 or 80 times this November, please. Speaking of voting, anti-Kerry vets led by longtime GOP operative bankrolled by Bush cronies. This latest smear campaign, Swift vote veterans for the truth.
Yeah, we posted some stories about them.
The so-called independent group of Navy vets who have launched attacks against Democratic presidential contender John Kerry is led by a longtime Republican operative and financed by GOP contributors with strong ties to President George W. Bush. What a surprise about those ties, ain't it?
Bow ties?
The Republican roots of the group stretch back to former Republican President Nixon when one of the group's leaders, former Swift boat commander John O'Neill, was recruited by the White House Chief Counsel Chuck Colson to debate Kerry on the Dick Cavett Show in 1971. We found a vet named John O'Neill and formed a group called Vietnam Veterans for a Just Peace. We had O'Neill meet the president, and we did everything we could to boost his group, Colson told reporter Joe Klein in a January 5 interview published in New Yorker magazine. O'Neill did not serve with Kerry in Vietnam and didn't know him, but Nixon was anxious to find a veteran, any veteran, to debate the veteran anti-war activist Kerry. The plan failed. The eloquent Kerry wiped the floor with O'Neill, and those closest to the Republican O'Neill say he never forgave Kerry for embarrassing him on national TV. O'Neill went on to clerk for Supreme Court Justice William Rehnquist, a Nixon appointee, and became an attorney in Houston where he was active in Republican politics in 91. Texas Lawyer magazine reports O'Neill was on the short list for appointment to the federal judgeship in Texas by Bush's father, former President George Herbert Walker Bush. Didn't get the job, by the way. O'Neill is still working for the Republican Party as lead author of Unfit for Command, Swift Vote for Veterans Speak Out Against John Kerry, scheduled for release this week by right-wing publishing house Regnery. The group has also bought $500,000 of airtime for a 60-second attack ad against Kerry to air in the battleground states of Wisconsin, Ohio, and West Virginia. Not that they would lie, you understand. You do get that, don't you? Not that they would make up a bunch of crap. In addition to which, a co-author of the anti-Kerry screed is a religious bigot, hate-monger, and gay basher who says that Islam should be eliminated, calls Senator Hillary Clinton a lesbo, and says ragheads are boy bumpers as clearly as they are women haters. Islam is like a virus, writes Jerome Corsi, who with longtime GOP operative John O'Neill wrote the book as part of a project financed by Texas Republican contributors with strong ties to the Bushmeister. Islam affects the mind, Corsi writes. Maybe even better as an analogy, it is a cancer that destroys the body it infects. No doctor would hesitate to eliminate cancer cells from the body. Corsi posted these comments on the unctuous FreeRepublic.com website November 26, 2002. He's a regular contributor to the right-wing website, posting under the screen handle of JRLC since 2001. A frequent gay basher, Corsi on November 18, 2001 posted, "Isn't the Democratic Party the official Sodomizer Protection Association of America?" He reserves the same hatred toward Catholics, so this is what the last days of the Catholic Church are going to look like. Buggering boys undermines the moral base, and the lawyers rip the gold off the Vatican altars. We may get one more pope when the senile old one dies, but that's probably about it. Well, now he's starting to get warm.
Yeah, I like that.
Corsi refers to Democratic nominee John Kerry as John effing Kerry and said on February 2, 2004 that John effing Commie Kerry and Commie Ted Kennedy discussed their plan to hand America over to our nation's enemies. His religious bigotry extends to Judaism with his March 4, 2004 post, after he married Teresa, didn't John Kerry begin practicing Judaism? He also has paternal grandparents that were Jewish. What religion is John Kerry? Besides John Kerry, Ted Kennedy, Arabs, Muslims, Catholics, and Jews, Corsi also hates Bill and Hillary Clinton. A sampling. Hillary loves the Arabs so much. Kiss, 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 Mrs. Arab rat. Wonder how she'd look in a burqa. When is this guy, Bill Clinton, going to admit he's simply an anti-American communist? Won't he and his leftist wife simply go away? Let the fat hog run, a reference to possible presidential run by Senator Clinton posted August 30th, 2003. Ask anybody why Hillary couldn't keep BJ Bill satisfied. Not a lesbo or anything, is she? Corsi admitted on FreeRepublic.com March 19 of this year that he was JRLC, adding that VVAW and John Kerry are a field of interest to me. In 1972, he says, I published an extensive study of the political protest around the 72 Democratic and Republican national conventions in Miami Beach, protest in which the VVAW was actively involved. Jerome R. Corsi, JRLC on Free Republic. I'll be happy to clarify any other questions you might have, he said. So in other words, this is a bunch of crap written by ultra-right-wing bigoted Neanderthals, just on behalf of the same kind of right-wing bigoted Neanderthals that are running for re-election. Birds of a feather, do it together. Here's how that poll's coming. Nothing too exciting. Now, is this really true that Clarence and Duff came running in and made you stop a poll in progress?
Yes. It was on for one segment, and it was doing really well, too.
Yeah, I mean, we only got 196 votes on this one now. You had 100 in about 2 minutes on that one.
And it was just a speculation poll, you know.
Right. About somebody getting, like, suspended or fired.
What's your take on the suspension, you know? And
right.
Some, like, 4 options.
196 votes. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? The Marlins win the World Series, 77. WQAM brings back Howard Stern, 39. The Heat gets Shaq, 28. Mo Howard David fills in for suspended Hank Goldberg, 24. Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern, 18. And Ricky Williams retires, only 10. How come we didn't add on there WRFX drops sports?
I guess we could.
Let's get that on there for that one caller, okay? For that dark-complected caller who wants to hear about sports and over again. Yeah, all day long. On the walls, on the ceiling, in his underwear. Sports. There ain't nothing else. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. See, it looked for a few seconds there when this whole Stern thing started. Like, it was going to be really magnificent. Like the Beasleys finally butched up and they were going to pay off certain people to go away. I don't want to mention no names. That they've been trying to unload for a long time anyway. And that it was going to be a happy family. That we're going to, like, just be a powerhouse. Isn't that what it looked like?
Right.
Now, Powerhouse used to be the name of a candy bar. Do they make that anymore?
I don't know.
No, see? Think about it.
No.
WQAM, hello?
Yeah, talk to Neil.
I beg your pardon?
Speaking. To Neil.
Speaking.
Yeah, Neil, one of your English listeners that you dislike so much.
Oh, God. Why is it that you people are so constipated and so loud and obnoxious and drunk?
Because we can.
Oh, I see.
Pulled something up online yesterday. I went to fill a prescription online. Don't know if you're aware of what's happened recently. Can't get any online medication in the state of Florida anymore.
Huh.
Something they snuck through last week. Considering the amount of alcocas that we have here, it's quite surprising now I can't get my dick pills online.
What did he just say?
Yeah, what you thought he said.
Oh, and you dumped it?
Of course I did.
Oh. I couldn't quite hear what he was saying with that obnoxious brick. See, I was right, pal. We had to dump you. You're in a jackhole, is what you are. Idiot.
Well, maybe you can say that in England.
What? Well, you can't hear it. I was going to ask him what about those cocklers were, but I guess maybe
they're kind of muscle.
That was his answer.
A cockle is a kind of muscle.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. Well, thank God those cocklers got saved in Britain over the weekend. 130 of them doing their thing. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, why in the world wouldn't you guys be able to mention about Hank when it was published in the paper and everything else?
Because this is WQAM.
I mean, whatever paper was Fort Lauderdale, Sentinel had it in there and had a little story about him.
Herald too.
Oh, the Herald?
Yeah, I saw them both.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense why you guys couldn't talk about that.
Well, does anything that Greg Reed does make any sense?
No.
Well, there you go.
And the other thing is, I can't imagine poor Hankster, you know, I mean...
Who?
Hank, my buddy Hank.
Careful now.
Okay, the guy he hated the most, the guy that he hated the most at the station is taking over for him.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess we'll all go to 790 in no time at all.
That's where I'll be.
All right. Thanks, Neil.
I'll be at 790, Waxy FM, whatever that is. They got a terrible signal, I should point out. I sure hope that those businessmen from, what's the place where all the Jews live in Hollywood there? Emerald Hills. I hope that those Jew businessmen from Hollywood understand that they're buying a station, or they're leasing a station that's got, in spite of what Dennis what's his name from Jefferson Pilot?
Collins?
Dennis Collins. Despite his assurances, I'm sure that it's a fine station. Their signals, I mean, you think we got a bad AM signal? We got snap, crackle, and pop. At least you can understand what we're saying. But on there, it's like they're talking through about 4 ounces of cow stuff. So that ought to be really entertaining. Although Joe will have an audience over there, like I told you, the little dog. Great job, Joe. I feel really bad about that. He was a fine lead-in. We liked him. Everything was going along great.
A mensch.
And remains to be seen now. Of course, we've always been like an island on this station anyway, no matter who we followed, because, we were not doing the same topic. And following Stern, it'll be the same thing, because I'm not going to be listening to him. I'm not going to pay any attention to what they're doing or talking about. I'm not interested in, in lesbos and the big boobs, although you are, but even so, I'm not into it.
Well, you can't see any on the radio.
I see. But you can sure talk to a lot of them.
I can.
It's 11:13 at 560 WQ Boobs. You've heard me talk about dry concepts for years on this show. Nothing has changed. When it comes to having your carpet, furniture, drapery cleaned, the only name you ought to be thinking about is Dry Concepts. Let's face it, your carpet is as bad as your sink when it comes to being a collector of germs. There's lots of schmutz down in there. So call Dry Concepts today and sanitize your entire home. Dry Concepts has got certified technicians you can trust in your home. They'll dry clean your carpet like you dry clean your clothing. And guess what? The stains go away and don't come back. Beware of those $5.95 per room scams. I promise you, take it from me. You'll never get ripped off by Dry Concepts because they give you a written guaranteed price up front before they start doing their work. They dry clean your carpeting. They make it look and smell just like brand new, lemony fresh. It's dry in a couple of hours, and it looks like you had brand new laid right on your floor. So you really can clean today, entertain tonight. So whether it's your carpeting, your area rugs, your drapery, your upholstery, your expensive oriental rugs, all of these things, these are the people you want to call. With over 20 years continuous service in South Florida and over 20 years of doing it in my homes. And don't forget to save a little bit extra off the price of your next carpet cleaning by telling them to put you on your standby list when they call, or when you call them, whoever calls whom. Call toll-free 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071 for Dry Concepts. On the web, it's dryconcepts.com. That's Dry Concepts, making carpets clean in South Florida since 1979.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. WQAM.
Roger's guy.
Now, another page from the audiobook version of Bill Clinton's autobiography, My Life. Last night was quite possibly the worst night of my life. After a day filled with meetings and phone calls with world leaders, I retired to the residence to seek solace. I flipped on the tube to catch some of my favorite show, American Gladiators. Wow, man, that Blaze gets my blood pumping. Anyway, just as Blaze was swinging across the monkey ropes, the bedroom door flung open. It was as if the doors of hell themselves had opened. Standing there before me, the most gruesome sight I had ever beholded. Editor note, check me on that. If I had a melon baller handy, I would have removed my own peepers. There was Hillary, naked as a Super Bowl streaker, without the advertisement on her chest. Oh, she wanted the Commander in Beef. That's a pet name for my dinghy. It had been over a decade since we had done the filthy hump and bump. She came at me, lips pursed, eyes glazed. She had obviously been drinking heavily. I began to think of interns naked and searched for my secret stash of Viagra. There was no escaping. Paige. She jumped on the bed, and it was as if my world came crashing down, when in reality it was the bed. She broke it. The 100-year-old bed that had belonged to Teddy Roosevelt, gone in one thundering leap of love. But the sound of crumbling oak did not slow her pursuit. It was as if I was being attacked by a Sasquatch. Hillary had long ago forgone any personal grooming. Paige. 2.5 minutes later, mercifully, it was over. As I watched her droopy bottom sway towards the bathroom, I vomited. I had to. I knew I was an amazing lover, but I had forgotten just how horrible it was to make love with someone you are married to. I like the strange. Wow. Tune in again next time for another page from the audiobook version of Bill Clinton's autobiography, My Life.
11:20 at 560 WQAM. Mad Dog is on today.
All right.
One of his rare appearances, and he'll be on 2 to 4. Then we got the Howard David for the suspended Hank Goldberg show at 4, followed by the Marlin stuff. How come so many people in the world smell so bad?
I don't know, soap or lack?
But just, I don't. There's no excuse for it.
No, not really.
Middle Eastern people stink.
Yeah.
They have that, like the kind of unshaven, Arab men, and probably some of the Israelis, too, although I shouldn't say that. We'll get that Gary Sarner friend going again. But, what is it about that?
It's different in different places.
Yeah, it's different, all right. The aroma, is that what you're talking about?
What's acceptable? What passes as acceptable, I would assume.
Well, to me, what passes acceptable is not smelling at all.
Right.
In other words, you don't have to have, in fact, people that wear too much cologne, like men,
sure.
Although usually it's women, but some guys just like they bathe in it, like
right.
the Crow, for example. just bathes in that talcum powder or whatever the hell it is.
Probably just as well.
Yeah, well, are you picking on the Crow?
I would never.
The Crow did pretty good on his Mo sidekick. The Mo and Crow got kind of a ring to it, although I do like that Mofo show. Sounds
You're
pretty
going to like
good.
it a lot.
Get Mofo your money? I can see the billboards right now. And then, of course, Donna Shillelagh at UM get all bent out of shape. We're going to take those games away from you if you don't get UM off of that thing. We don't want to be connected to that filth. No, not with all the crap you guys got going on down there. Right. 567-0560, pound 5. I'm shocked. I thought that the Stern people would be calling in by the thousand. Maybe you've already exhausted all that last week.
I guess, but they only had one comment.
What was that?
How's Neil gonna feel about having to wait to go on the air?
That was their only take on Howard Stern coming on the station? Maybe the Stern people don't know about it yet.
Maybe.
Although, you remember that call I had? The last call, I thought to myself, I'm supposed to keep this top secret. And the last call before that Marlin game on that Thursday before I left for vacation, and I just punched up line 9. All the lines were ringing, but that's my luck. I punch up line 9, and there's an obvious setup call. Oh, what's this about Stern coming to QM? It's all over the Internet. Well, it must have been from New York. It was from their inside, right?
Must have been.
Sure, because that's the way they do things anyway. All the publicity all the time. But keep in mind, the publicity will end for the moment after he goes off the air. Do you see what I'm saying? In other words, I'm not deluding myself into thinking that there's going to be some kind of a, how do I put it, some kind of a common ground there. It ain't going to happen. That's not the way. In fact, if you had any idea of all the things that they have to agree not to do when they sign the deal for this to carry the Stern show, you would just pee your pants. You wouldn't believe it.
Like what?
Like anything. You can't, he won't do any promos for anybody else, and you can't use his voice on the air in any other day parts, and you can't do this, and you can't cut his hair too short because look what he did to Samson, and all these other things. Oh, you didn't say David Sampson, did you? Oh! Boy, so many things that we just can't, I know. We're just going to have to play music, really. We can't even say, we did it! Can't say that anymore either.
We did it!
Wow.
Come on, talk it up.
Can't stand it. This is the man with the balls of a fruit fly, Greg Reed. But he's going to show everybody, man. He's the guy that brought Howard Stern back on the air. Oh, yeah. Can't wait to see that. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil?
Yes, sir.
This is Neil. You know, Neil, there are 54 players right now in the NFL.
And?
I think that's awesome. It's all
Why
about,
do I care about that?
It's all about the Canes in this.
Why do I care about that?
Because we love the Canes.
You love the Canes.
I love the Canes.
So you get a life, okay, schmuck loser. Call a Sports Nerd Show. Call the ticket, okay? Let them put you on hold till September 1. Who gives a flying crap about that? There are 54. How many of them are on death row, by the way? 53? WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I saw you were talking about Donna Shillelagh earlier. Who do you think is going to win the World Series, the Yankees or the Cardinals?
567-0560. Pound 560 on the AT&T Verizon wireless line. You talk about having no material, man. You were right.
Well, you're getting way better calls than I did.
I'll bet. Yeah, at least these people can spell us. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil. Howard did talk about your station last week.
Yeah, what did he say? What did he say?
He said something about the Dolphins not liking it and that they may pursue other options. And he said, well, that's tough. Basically, he said that's tough. That's up to them. It's not his decision.
Mm-hmm.
So he did mention it.
Well, that's not talking about our station. That's not promoting QAM. That's a negative.
He didn't say promote the station, but he did mention that he's going to be on in South Florida.
Well, of course he did that because it's part of the whole ego thing. Naturally, he did that.
Yeah, that's true. But honestly, I don't remember. I don't know whether he actually used the call letters or not. He may have, but I honestly don't remember.
Oh, why would he do a thing like that? Yeah.
It's Howard. I wasn't paying attention. It's just background noise, you know?
There you go.
Okay, man.
Okay, Baba Louie. See ya. Bye. 26 after 11. How do you like that? See, the thing with the Dolphins again, Eddie Jones says, well, we would prefer to be on a sports station, and Greg Reed says, well, there's a 50-50 chance. You know, maybe we'll have, maybe we won't after the season. Who cares? First of all, the games are all televised anyway. That's number one. Secondly, you have to carry them on your FM, which we got them on power, right? So nobody really listens on QM anyway.
And
so what's, and?
They're in Espanol.
They're also in Espanol on QBA, I believe. Right?
Well, I wouldn't know where they are, but
I know the Marlins are in QBA, so I would assume that they probably also carry the, maybe not, who knows, but they are on Espanol, we know that. So it's like about how many people are we really talking about?
About 30, man.
That it affects. Plus, in addition to what you got the Mo factor. So who the hell wants to hear that? 26 after 11 at 560 WQAM. Emerald Coast, South Florida's best Asian buffet, is proud to announce the arrival of Fest.
Well,
come in on the weekend. I beg your pardon?
New copy. We weren't ready.
Yeah. Come in on the weekends, enjoy grilled and scampi. Now look at this. They've got that twice. They must like the way you say it so much. They've got enjoy grilled shrimp scampi, cocktail, and peel and eat. Boy, you sound like such a fruitcake man. Doesn't he sound fruity when he starts losing it like that? You've been hanging around with George too long, I think.
Tough.
Emerald Coast is no ordinary Asian buffet. The service is impeccable. You'll never leave on an empty stomach, I'll guarantee you that. Start with 6 different soups, sample dozens of succulent entrees, including New York strip made to order at their sizzling Asian grill, along with their new Hunan fish. If you still have room, sample their hand-carved prime rib, their new Thai specialties. And don't forget, no MSG, no cornstarch. They cook only with the best cholesterol-free oils. Their buffet features a full salad bar, full Chinese food lineup, and their brand-new sushi bar, too. And because you deserve it, Emerald Coast features a full dessert station featuring Belgian waffles, pies, cakes, pastries, ice cream with all the toppings, and fresh fruit as well. What a perfect ending to a gigantic pig-out. Emerald Coast, 3 locations for you. Sunrise, Sunny Isles, and Pembroke Pines. So take the family out of your next business luncheon at the Emerald Coast. Takeout and delivery always available. Voted #1 by Zagat Restaurant Reviews and by WSBN News as South Florida's best Asian buffet. So call them at 954-572-3822. That's 954-572-3822. A lot of imitators, but there ain't nothing like the world-famous Emerald Coast Chinese buffet.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
See him. He's gonna give Ricky a blow.
Baby, launch a couple missiles toward a place we know.
Alright.
And aim 'em at a fella whose first name begins with O. There's one thing we all understand. Al-Qaeda won't be finished until we blow up Pakistan.
Abu Ghraib.
We could chase them round forever with our tanks and all our troops, but special forces are so tired of jumping through them hoops. You know we need another plan, so let's cut out all the nonsense and go blow up Pakistan.
Absolutely.
Al-Qaeda needs a nuclear tan. Why don't we stop pussyfooting and go blow up Pakistan?
You turd.
Boom, boom.
Jeffrey on, number 5, Montreal Canadiens. 11:32 at 560 WQAM. 295 votes on the poll. Not too exciting. I think they want you back on today. Do a little more of that Schmear the Queer and Toe Jam.
Sure,
and,
yeah. Toe Jam.
Jungle Jam.
Jungle
295 votes. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most impotent? Marlins win a World Series. That's hands down 121. Thank God they're doing that because that'll make the Marlins feel a lot better about us. We've had this station, man, and just everybody. The Marlins seem to be, no matter which the owner is, they're always ultra-sensitive. You notice that?
Oh, yeah.
I better not say that, though. Whether it was Wayne or John Henry, remember those ugly, nasty days when they had that appearance on the morning show?
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
And somebody said, "Oh, hi, Neil," when I walked in the door. Boy, that was a bad mistake because all those guys in their Brooks Brothers suits gave me a look like they were going to kill, like Luca Brasi was going to come out with that Garrett, with Leaf Garrett. And then, of course, this crowd now that we picked apart like insects, like picking wings off a fly. When they first came into town, David Sampson with that much ballyhooed interview when he showed up late with Mo and moaning. And then, of course, all this other stuff. But I guess the less said, the better, because everybody loves the Marlins. Their TV ratings are way up this year. Their radio ratings through the roof in his last book on QAM. So who don't love the Marlins, right, even though they're having kind of a mediocre season? And, well, 122 say the Marlins win the World Series, the most important event of the last year. WQAM brings back Howard Stern, 58. That's not too bad, huh?
We'll take it.
Although they haven't got anything to say about it, but that's all right. 58. The Heat gets Shaq, 41. Mo Howard David fills in for the suspended Hank Goldberg. Look at how many votes he's got.
About 30, man.
Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern, 26. Ricky Williams retires, 18. Well, that's starting to move up a little bit. A little movement there for Ricky. And WRFX drops sports. Their audience has voted 2. Has voted, what a shame. Let's face it, they had no audience, just like that 1400 thing that gets so much ink because you got a bunch of sports nerds in the newspapers like Sarney and Barry Jackass there, and they're going to be in heaven now. I read the 85,000 articles they had over the last 10 days about all the stuff going on QAM, and Stern is coming, and we're dumping off sports in the morning, and yada yada yada, and the ticket is coming with ESPN Radio. ESPN Radio, with the exception of Joe Rose, will make a ripple like if your dog does a silent fart. About 100 yards. What did you just do?
I was just breathing.
Sounded like you were wheezing to me. Was that Wheezy?
Yeah, I've been smoking more lately.
Yeah. I thought she just passed away, old Wheezy. Wasn't she the one that died?
Somebody did.
Yeah, Wheezy died. Well, it wasn't Florence because she's on Passion. She's old Aunt Irma. Plus the foul mouth. Huh? No wonder they keep putting your ass on the carpet, man. You better watch your P's and Q's, mister. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
See, we can expect a lot more calls like that last one we had now that we have Stern coming to QAM. That's going to bring a tremendous level of intelligent callers. Yes, sir.
I was just kind of wondering out loud that how could Beasley afford to keep Stern on the air and get him since he's separated and she's the one with all the money?
Time to go home.
That was great. Only, of course, we do know that in that case, Howard's the one with all the money.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, that was an excellent job, Pally. That was really beautiful. Probably get a few laughs from some fat guy we know.
That was funny.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon. See, what really killed, and I didn't find out about all these, we can't do this, until this morning, before the show. And in marches little Clarence there, a real goose-stepper if there ever was one, and ass liquor. And he comes in giving me, a corporate this and corporate that, and Greg wants to make sure you understand it. And, of course, I told him to go bite it. I told him to get lost. But then he comes in with some other stuff that really is fairly lame but kind of marginal. And, I don't want to put all of us into a precarious position of getting into a big song and dance. But it's pretty sad that all of this stuff that's being written about in the newspapers, and you've talked about this, everybody is writing about it, everybody's talking about it, but we can't discuss it on our own radio station. I mean, that's bullcrap, man. That is so juvenile. It is so Bush League.
Right. Everyone else benefits from our material except us.
That is so typical of this company, man. They want to be one thing, but in the meantime, they don't. They really can't. You know what I'm saying? They want to be something, but they don't have the cojones to really do it. So, we really want to do this, but we don't want to go that far. And, of course, for those people who have been wondering, I guess you got some calls about the dump monkey. Yeah. Duff the dump monkey. Yeah, our operations manager, Duff Lindsay, who told me under penalty of death, don't tell anybody else about it. Then I found out this morning that everybody knows that it's him, which is why I'm talking about it on the air. He's got the unbelievably difficult, impossible task. He's the one going to be sitting there during the Stern show for 4 hours and who knows how long every morning. And this is a guy who's not wrapped all that tight in the first place, okay? As you well know.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was spacing off.
He cries when somebody has diarrhea. He gets upset. You know what I mean? So
would you like to feel relaxed once again?
Oh, my God. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. He's not the most emotionally stable guy we've ever met. He's a good guy in his own peculiar way, but he's going to have the job of sitting in there. And so every time Howard, and I don't really know because I don't listen to Stern. I haven't listened to him in years. And I guess they're really not doing all that much different on that show than they ever had before, which is why market after market, even the ones where they just put him back on the air, the Infinity-owned stations, they're dumping him like crazy. They're doing more dumps in there than a guy with, like I said, diarrhea. So he's the one going to be responsible with his finger on that yellow button, aided and assisted, of course, by the self-hating Robert Grieper. Yeah, I notice how all these other people go the way of the wind. Zach Krantz is leaving. He's going to the ticket. Good luck to you, Zach. Good guy. A little fat and useless, but a good guy. The Beast, he's going to still be around because he's Clarence's boyfriend, the program director's boyfriend. He'll be around. But there's some people who are getting their marching orders, and then, of course, there's Robert Grieper, who continues staying because he's got all the right pictures. Man, one can only begin to imagine.
I don't want to.
Oh, yeah. You think the ones of the Beasleys with the billy goat or something, they ain't nothing. 132 say the Marlins win the World Series, the most important thing of the year. 313 votes. Kind of lame, I would say. So what we're going to do is after the break, we'll put George back on to talk more about Tour of the Queers. Happy Gold.
Queer Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
God. Hey, Lisa, wasn't that you singing at that party last night? You were crunk.
Thanks, Mike, but I did have a little help.
Help? What kind of help?
That's the way, I like it.
Are you ready to party?
That's the way,
Then you need the karaoke machine.
We are a family. That's right, I've got all my Democratic supporters and me.
All your favorite hits.
I play the authority, but the authority always wins. Except in New Hampshire, where I did very well.
As only John Kerry can sing them.
Because I've got friends in low places. In fact, I just talked to Bill Clinton the other day.
Sing along.
Getting jiggy with it.
Or dance to the hits.
Getting jiggy with it.
Karaoke fun.
Just tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna.
Here's out of order.
Last dance. Last chance. For love.
Order your karaoke machine now. Only 3 easy payments of $99.99 plus an additional $99.99 for shipping and handling. Or send one payment of $499.99 plus $99.99 sales tax.
In this election year.
John Kerry is hot.
She was a fast machine. She got her motor clean.
Order karaoke now.
16 till noon at 560 WQ. I'm glad he asked what I thought about that boring Democratic convention.
Yeah.
See, this is the mistake the Democrats always make, over and over and over again. You know what they say? Fool me once, shame... and can't get fooled again.
Right.
When I see that clip, I just about wet myself. Every time I see that, it is so fabulous to see that. You realize here is an absolute moron, a simpleton, a real honest-to-goodness doofus. A doofus in a suit. Fool me once, shame on...
You got a saying, we got it back in Texas.
In Tennessee.
Maybe you got it.
I can't get fooled again. What is it? Anyway, what was I going to say before I got into that?
Boring Democratic
convention, yeah. Always this crap about, we don't... On the one side, you got the Republicans calling Kerry everything but a mother effer. I mean, everything that's ever been invented, right?
Right.
And he wasn't a war hero after all, and he shot that kid in the back, and he's a real piece of slime ball. And the Democrats, their approach is, well, we want to take the high road, and we want to be as boring as possible, and we don't want to attack the... This is the most vulnerable president in the history of the country. Even William Henry Harrison looked pretty good after he got pneumonia compared to this. And what do? They take the high road. And so it was left to Ted Kennedy, and who else? And Bubba got a couple of good shots in there. But other than that, it was really a coma-inducing, and their whole approach of not playing, taking a high road, and it doesn't work. That's not what the people want to hear. You have to live like a realist. You have to be pragmatic. That's not the way politics work, no mo. So I think they made a bad mistake, which is why you didn't see any bounce for the ounce after the convention. What was there to bounce? Except maybe Hillary's underwear. A year after the September 11th attacks, the Justice Department obtained video surveillance tape suggesting that terrorists were targeting Las Vegas casinos, but... as I'm sure you know by now, authorities never bothered to alert the public as they discussed whether a warning might hurt tourism or increase the casino's legal liability, internal memos show. Infernal internal memos. The mayor of Las Vegas said yesterday he was never told... Did you see the clips of him? He's foaming at the mouth. He's a wild man. Not Donald White. He's a wild man. He said yesterday he was never told about the tapes uncovered in Detroit and Spain in 2002, had been assured by the FBI that there were no credible threats against Vegas. If I were told, I would certainly tell the public, Mayor Oscar Goodman said. Sounds like an anti-Semitic thing to me. But memos and emails between federal prosecutors obtained by the Associated Press say Las Vegas authorities were alerted to some of the footage by August 30th, 2002. Later, numerous local law enforcement officials were invited by a senior FBI agent to view the footage, but most spurned the invitation, the memos say. One document quotes a federal prosecutor in Las Vegas as saying the mayor was concerned about the deleterious effect on the Vegas tourism industry if the Detroit evidence became public. Another memo states the casinos didn't want to see the footage for fear it would make them more likely to be held liable in civil court if the attack occurred. So it's the same old pass the buck. You did it, no, I did it. And you'll notice, by the way, that when Tom Ridge made his breathless announcement that day of our latest orange, pink, purple alert, that on the same day when Mayor Bloomberg and the head of the police, what's the police chief in New York, whatever his name is, Bloomberg made one little shot there, a real snide comment about, well, that's why we need to get that Homeland Security money here in New York City. And the other city, and
that nobody's getting?
Right, that's right. So they're talking a real good game, but in the meantime, well, that money is just it's phantom money because it's a phantom Homeland Security. It's just a fig Newton of somebody's imagination. And then they go and they finally get a hold of this thanks to the Pakistanis that we've got enormous pressure on right now. We're threatening to blow them into oblivion if they don't come up with some goods. And so they come up with one of the most important guys that's got all these computer files. And what do? We make a big announcement. We put his name on the air, put his picture on the air, out him. And so all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that he's doing, everybody goes undercover now.
Right.
They all went to the mattresses with Luca Brasi and Clemenza. Can you imagine how it smelled up there with the mattresses? Man, probably smelled like olive oil. 5670560, pound 560 on the air. I'm just so frustrated over this Beasley, the whole thing. I never in my wildest nightmares thought that coming back after vacation and still doing the rest of August, thank goodness it's only 2 days a week for me. You got the, I don't know.
What, the crap end of the stick? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, you got the 3 out of the 5 days.
Yeah.
And then I looked over the weekend, over the weekend, I looked at the stats. Now, I'm not really sure what the hell Eric did there on our website. Was it this weekend he rechanged some things? Because I saw the tremendous increase we had last week, not prior to last week. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that must be because after the Stern announcement. But then I found out that he made changes to our, I don't know. I'm sure I'll get a very lengthy series of emails from Eric explaining to me exactly what he did. But have you noticed that?
No, I don't look at the stats.
Why not?
Got too many other things to do.
It's impotent stuff, man. Well, not really, but it's something to do.
I'm looking for, naked celebrities.
Well, you might find some on the stats page. You never know. 5-6, and of course you stick me with Joanne Severance, whatever her name is, Joan Severance.
What's wrong with her?
Most people don't even know who the hell that is. You put all the hot babes on there when you're doing the show. When I'm on, you put an old black and white picture of some old washed up bitch.
Most people haven't seen her naked.
Most people haven't seen her, period.
Ew.
And they don't want to either, especially this close to lunchtime. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. We thought we had found our way, out of the wilderness after 7 long, excruciating years on this radio station. We thought we finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel with this tremendous rating book. Everybody, even that Moman, everybody was doing just fine. And then, bam. Even without Emerald's Lagasse, man, there we go with that BAM stuff again as Greg breaks the egg into a billion pieces again. The old Humpty. And then he wants to bring Defoe back. That's what kills me. He tells Barry Jackass that if he wasn't able to sign Stern, that his deal was he'd already discussed with Defoe putting him on with Mo in the morning, the Mofo show. What is his obsession with going back to these same old tired retreads with their corny humor? What is that all about? The last thing we need back on this radio station is Defoe.
He did well in that poll, though.
Yeah, good for him. How many times do you think he voted?
About 30, man.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's your real name?
Ishkabibble. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
What days are you on the air without Neil?
Every other sukkahs.
I'm sorry?
What difference does it make?
Well, because I like to know what days to tune in, what days not to tune in.
Well, what days do you want to tune in?
Whenever George is on alone.
He'll be on alone tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. 5670560, one of your people.
Yeah, my family.
One of your people, I'm telling you, he's calling from Sweetwater. He's sweet.
Hey,
WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you doing, sir?
Okay, Pally?
I want to apologize to George publicly.
You're chronic, man. I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Chronic.
You know that voice?
Yeah.
God. I won't talk to chronics, including Carl the sports nerd and Juan from Little Havana and this last guy. I'm tired of talking to the same half-dozen jackholes over the years. It's nauseating. Rent a room at the Holiday Inn, okay? Let all the chronics go in there and do their shtick, and the whispering guy, and all the same old tired chronics. Get a life, would you please?
I have no life.
WQAM, hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering if you heard about or read about the article in the Sun Sentinel where Dade County decided to be very diplomatic in their distribution of their emergency funds from the national government, where they only gave Broward County $4 million and Palm Beach County $0 out of all that, the terrorist money? Not the terrorist money, I'm sorry. The
Homeland Security money?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And so Dade County has decided to keep all but $4 million of it when it's supposed to be.
How can they do that?
Well, that's the question that's being asked. So, and it hasn't been answered yet, but it just goes to show you, once again, Dade County steps up loud and proud.
I bet you it has something to do with Howard David had been on in place of Hank.
I'm sure it has something to do with
I bet you there's something subversive connected between the two. Good luck to you, Patty.
Yep, bye.
Hang in there. Bye. 5670560. See, we're getting some pretty neat calls, huh? And then you got that one punk on there who has got the hots for you, wants to know what days you're going to be on certain. Huh?
I didn't know that Dade County was the capital.
It is.
State.
The capital of a banana republic.
Well, we knew that.
Make no mistake about it. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, you seen the movie Fahrenheit 9/11, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the last part, the guy's a goofball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to tell you, I know you and hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I know you like William H. Macy. I was wondering if you've seen the movie The Cooler.
No, I've not.
That's a good movie.
Okay.
You should see it. And how about those Braves, huh? They're kicking butt.
The who?
The Braves. They're kicking ass.
The Braves?
Yeah.
Who gives a crap? Probably Mo's boyfriend. Well, like Braves crap. 5670560, pound 560. Isn't that sad? You know what I think it is? I think the sports nerds are like hanging on by their tentacles and testicles. They're just, you know what I mean, like by their fingernails.
Why should they worry? They got more stations programming for them than anybody else.
They don't want those other stations. You've seen the numbers. No matter how many stations have tried to be all sports.
About 30, man.
Never can do it. The Fan and the Ticket and the this and the Fan Junior and all this other crap. They want QAM, man. They want right here. They want us to be sports 48 hours a day. Non-stop. Ball games. Ricky. All of that stuff. Danny and Jimmy and Danny and all that garbage. It's because we've cultivated it for all these years. And now it's like, well, we don't want that crap no more. Do you understand the reasoning here? What?
Well, the reasoning, I thought it was money.
Money what?
Money, honey.
You think they're not making money? You think that this radio station ain't making a fortune? Isn't a gold mine?
Yeah.
In addition to which, if they got some of the dead wood, man, oh man, the dead wood out of this joint. I don't want to mention any names. Guys that are putting down some serious bucks, okay? Like, how much do you have to pay a dump monkey anyway? WQAM, hello.
Yeah, George.
Yes, sir.
George, is they really taking Hank Goldberg off the radio?
Can't talk about anything connected with whatever name you just said. 56. What name did he say? Oh, I thought that's what he said. WQAM, hello.
Jimmy's playing with Jimmy Johnson.
WQAM, hello. Not there. QAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
What's happening, Neil? Hey, I don't understand. How come people they hear you talk on the phone, then they call, and then you answer, and they ask if you're George? They say George.
Because they're stupid. Because they're morons, man. You think we talk to the intelligentsia, the cream of the crop on these shows every day? People that call talk shows, except for yourself, of course, are morons.
That's right. Hey, I was just going to say, I agree with you really about the Democrats. I'm so disappointed in the way they're presenting the package. This should really be a slam dunk against this president. I mean,
you'll notice after Tom Ridge came out with these phony terror warnings again with this 4-year-old information stuff that they had for ages, that it was Howard Dean was the only guy that had. I saw him live on Wolf Blitzkrieg that day. I happened to be watching. And he was the only guy that came out and had the balls to tell it like it is. Howard Dean. And then who they put on that wimpy Jew Lieberman. Well, I know Tom Ridge personally, and Tom would never do anything like that.
This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is Dick Cheney. I like to relax by having Mary Magdalene massage my balls while listening to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
now to me it's quite clear. I better find a place where I can disappear. I'm a father again, but it's more than I feared. Quadruplets, quadruplets. I better run, I better do what I can. Don't wanna start paying child support, man. I knew she'd have a kid, but this sure ain't what I planned. Quadruplets. Again, I'm gonna be a dad. Quadruplets. 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 Donating my sperm was stupid. Sure got unlucky, planned a short bite. The mother won't let the kid spend the night. Quadruplets. Better beat it. Quadruplets. Better beat it.
12:01 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore, and quite frankly, who the hell gives a crap? So you're going to be on Monday, next Monday, when the Howard Stern debuts.
Okay.
Oh, did you hear the end of that? One moment, please.
Yeah, there's an extra bonus.
Just a little slop over there to the next cut. That's okay. We don't expect perfection, especially on this station. You're going to be the first one to sit around and wait till Howard decides it's time to go home.
Okay.
Now, the only bad thing that I can see about that is the fact that we're going to be forced to listen.
Well, no, Josh will be forced to listen.
Oh, in other words, he can give us a heads up. Now, see, I have no idea how that happens. Maybe one of the Stern... And by the way, prepare yourself for about 50,000 more of those Stern rules! Baba Booey. That's going to be coming through on the other side benefits of having Howard on the air. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm ecstatic, man. We have an 80-share lead-in. Huh?
Crank caller saying the same thing over and over again? I don't know how to deal with that.
No. But maybe some of their audience knows how what happens at the end of the show. In other words, is there I don't get it.
A siren? Does he fire a gun into the air?
In fact, you know who thought, I started to mention this in the beginning and then again sidetracked myself for the 8 millionth time, but you know who was trying to do the same thing? Yeah. Remember we would get to be like a minute and a half past 10 and he would say, well, let's talk to Franken, Delray Beach. Remember that?
Well, that's just because he didn't want to let people hang up, you know.
That's because he didn't want to say goodbye. He thought he wanted to muscle in over on the show, which we did do the crossover every day, which was okay. But he wanted to go. He thought he's Howard Stern Jr. You know, he's going to go on until 10:15, 10:25. You know, Farella. He's going to be teaming up with Mo. WQAM, hello. I have never in my life heard a deader sounding line than that. Have you? Man. WQAM, hello.
Chamba?
WQAM, hola.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Glad to have you back.
Sure.
George did a good job.
George is doing a sensational job, man. I can't hold a candle to him.
The funniest thing that happened to George was Friday. The guy called up that...
Oh, it's Reverend Jones again, yeah. Well, it's another one of your fans.
Oh, yeah. Both of us.
567-0560, pound 560. We're talking to the Howard Stern people this afternoon. The frenzy, man, you can feel it. It's contagious. Can't you feel it in the air?
I'm feeling something.
And, of course, we can't talk about that.
Right.
Even though Mo Howard David will be filling in this afternoon from 4 till 6:30, Marlin pregame time for the suspended Hank Goldberg. But we can't talk about that. WQAM, hello.
Hey, about the Mo and the Mark the Jets fan show.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
The other one.
George did a controversial show.
The controversial show, yeah. About the famous callers from the past, controversial.
Yeah.
Oh. Beauty. WQAM. QAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
I got a gerbil in my ass.
Good for you. Oh, that's Duff calling from Naples with an update. WQAM, hello.
Hey, what happened with the hammer?
I beg your pardon?
What happened with the hammer that he got suspended for?
You're asking me?
I'm asking.
We can't discuss it, sir. Under the present regime in Washington, we're only permitted to say a few, that's right, a few select words.
I've been an abuser for a long time. That was funny.
567-0560. I'm getting into these calls now. I've missed this, although I do have a very important story.
Good.
Proposed Dutch law would ban unsolicited toe licking.
I think I might have seen that.
On our website. I put it on there. Unsolicited toe-licking would be banned in the Netherlands under a law sought by the Dutch Labour Party after police were unable to prosecute a would-be Casanova with a taste for female toes because he really had committed no crime. A police spokesman said Friday a man had been detained after women sunning themselves in Rotterdam's parks and beaches claimed he had snuck up on them and begun to lick their toes. Maybe he was one of those cocklers that got lost on the beach. The officers had to let him go. Licking a stranger's toes is rather unusual, but there's really nothing criminal about it, the spokesman said. Dutch press reports said the man, who's about 35, had been licking the toes of strangers for about 3 years, but was only recently caught by police. Peter van Heemst, a Labour member of Parliament, asked Christian Democrat Justice Minister Piet Hein Donner Friday to explain why Dutch laws forbid littering, but not uninvited toe-licking. Van Heemst demanded an amendment prohibiting it. It's a violation of one's privacy and one's physical integrity, he told a local news agency. The norm is that no one should touch your body if you haven't asked them first. A spokesman for Donner said the minister could not immediately comment he was smoking a big fat one or something like that. Don't go to Amsterdam, by the way. It's pretty boring. I don't know. I'm just burned out on it. I say that all the time, don't I? And then I go back.
Right. Just to make sure.
Well, I don't know. I don't like the way a lot of the people smell, although I was walking on the dam rack one afternoon. And I hear a voice saying, Mr. Rogers? And I turn around, and there's this guy, I would say about my age, short gentleman and his wife, big fans from Miami. Were very nice. I mean, they didn't, bend my ear. And then as I was walking down the street back to the hotel, there they were again. Not that they were,
Not that they were what?
Not that they were following or stalking. No, they were not. It just happened to be. They were looking for a shop where they could find, some nifty T-shirts that said Amsterdam and all that, And I said, oh, yeah, anywhere around here. And I ran. No, they were very nice. That's kind of unusual, ain't it? Like on the dam rack right there. And Mr. Rogers. I thought, who the hell are you?
It's a small world.
Yeah. And don't go into that easy internet cafe unless it's under 100 degrees in the... oh, man, it is just boiling in that place.
No AC in the computer place?
No.
God.
Can't even crack a window. Boy, oh, man, just boiling in there.
Did they let you crack a smile?
They let you smoke crack, but that's about it. And the one other piece of good news is that they moved a lot of those Rasta people, out of the... they moved them all there to the old church. I guess maybe they got a ring of prayer over there or something. Remember when I fell and had my accident and broke my hand? Right near that spot. That's where they moved them all. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey there.
Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, I don't suppose there's any chance that Mo Howard is leaving town completely and, Zimper's coming back to do Dolphin games?
No.
Oh, what a shame.
5670560. Boy, you are right, man. This town is cleaned out.
Yeah.
And the lifeless ones, this is one of the times of the day when they prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I have no life.
Because they're still around. That's all you got. Better you than me.
Thanks.
What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most impotent is what our poll question is today. Not going over all that big, 392 votes. Come see, come saw. The Marlins win the World Series, 154. WQAM brings back Howard Stern's 79, which I don't know, I would have thought, for a while there I thought that was doing pretty well, but it doesn't strike me that it's doing all that and maybe the Stern people don't know yet, or probably they're not listening, which indicates that when Stern comes on, it ain't going to do us a bit of good. You think it's going to do us any good?
It ought to. Right?
Well, no, I'm asking. Well, now you're asking me. I'm asking you. Do you think that having Stern on in the morning? I mean, we sure had a nice book, this last rating book, right after Joe Rose. He had 2 solid hours in there.
Sure. It would be hard to think that we could do better, I guess, better than number 1.
I'm not talking about better than number 1. I'm just, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. WQAM brings back Howard Stern, 81. That's next Monday, August 16. The Heat gets Shaq, 56, as in Hugh 56. Mo Howard David fills in for suspended Hank Goldberg, which we can't discuss, 41. Clear Channel drops Howard Stern, 38. Ricky Williams retires, 24. And WRFX drops Sports, 3, which means that Rana and Pete Bolger have also added their vote to David Ross. And it'll be 4, because that other caller, the Schwarzer that called, he'll be voting too. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hola.
All right.
What is it?
No, I was calling about the Stern. He was wondering when the Stern show finishes normally. I know that answer.
Go ahead.
No, generally it finishes when, what's her name, Robin Quivers, when she starts doing the male.
As opposed to the female.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they normally they wrap it up. But let me tell you, I was an avid listener, and sometimes they'll go on and on and on, and sometimes till 11:30. So you guys might need to take a look.
Wait. They'll go on till 11:30.
I used to be an avid listener before they got taken off, and at times
Are you
they
sure?
would go. I'm for sure. They used to go to 11:30 at times, not every day. But if they have a good show going on, they don't stop it. And their commercials used to be like about 20 minutes long. Are they going to still be that long?
Whatever they got, whatever they sell, that's what we'll have to fill the breaks.
I got you, because let me tell you, you can go to work and come back and it's still the commercial's still on.
Well, what would you say would be the average time for them to finally pack it in?
Generally, no earlier than 9:45, 10 o'clock.
9:45?
Yeah, generally. I mean, I know that you go from like 6.
No, you don't mean 9:45, because they're on like 6 to 10.
Yeah.
You mean 10:45.
Yes.
So their average ending of the show is like 10:45 to 11 o'clock?
At times, yeah. Not every day. So you guys need to get a little sleeping bag or
a TV.
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a good idea to be doing a show at home where it's nice and comfortable. I have a pillow all lined up, nice going. Okay, thanks for the good news, Pally.
All right, man. Take care.
12:55 till, I'm thinking like 1:14. 1:14 till 2 after all these years. That sounds good to me. That's enough. 12 minutes past noon. 11:30 now. Have we heard anything about this?
No.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I guarantee you that between Duff Lindsay and Greg Reed and Josh Clarence Darrow, the three of them put together don't really know what time that show ends on an average. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All they know is that Greg signed the deal. He went up there breathlessly and, keep it top secret and all this other crap. And that's it. That's all they know. Because I asked a few questions from Miss Lindsay about the formatics and about the commercial breaks and like that. They're working on it with the water Nazi, which we will play that bit on Thursday. Well, you can play it tomorrow. Have you played it yet?
No, it's fresh.
Excellent. 12:13. Yes, she's kind of fresh. 12:13 at 560 WQAM. How come Gary Sarner never came in and told me what he breathlessly was calling me here at home about yesterday? Man, is he a pain in the ass
Rectum.
or what? If you're on the Atkins, the South Beach, the Sugar Busters, or any low-carb, sugar-free diet, then head for Delights of West Boca. For years, Delights has helped thousands of low-carb dieters achieve their weight loss goals, and now Delights of West Boca is celebrating their 14th anniversary with special discounts up to 50% off on low-carb products like Carbolite, Pure Delight, Carb Sense, and lots more. And as their anniversary super special, you can save half off all Atkins brands food and supplements too. Don't forget their great selection of low-carb bakery items like cheesecakes, breads, rolls, brownies, and you can try their products before you buy them too. We've got a knowledgeable staff. They're open every day till 10, and don't forget their guaranteed lowest price policy on all Atkins, Carbolite, and Pure Delight products too. Delights of West Boca will absolutely, positively not be undersold. Delights, you'll find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 next to Boston Market, or call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB, or on the web it's lowcarb.com with a W. Don't forget, that's Delights of West Boca, your official Atkins retail center.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Al Franken Show. Joining us this hour will be Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney. He will be at the other end of my phone line. Is he on the line?
Yes.
Mr. Vice President, welcome to the Al Franken Show.
Acknowledged.
Mr. Vice President, I couldn't help noticing the photograph of you and your family smiling and laughing that's currently being circulated online.
Yes, that is to show that we are a decent, loving, and sensible Republican family.
Well, what were they laughing about?
I believe I had just told my lovely daughter Mary that she smelled like tuna fish.
Evidently she read your wife's book.
Yeah, it would seem that way.
With all the comparison jokes being made about you and Spiro Agnew, how viable do you think it would be to bring back Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In?
I never watched that show. I had better things to do.
Yeah, okay.
It's just been brought to my attention that Dan Rowan is dead.
Oh, well, perhaps you can resurrect him?
Yes, Yes, I can issue a directive for my staff to look into it. If I'm not satisfied with their analysis, I can always ask the president to pass it on to one of his invisible friends.
You know, I was hoping that you would use my show to once and for all put the controversy of those energy meetings to rest.
What energy meetings?
You know, the ones you held with Halliburton and Ken Lay.
There were no meetings. I never heard of Halliburton.
Those meetings you held in the White House.
White House? Never heard of it.
Now, does that mean that you are a liar?
Well, you're a liberal.
Liar!
You're a dirty, filthy, commie bingo liberal.
Help
yourself.
Rock solid. 12:19 at 560 WQAM. Wow. All the Latinos and others who are used to taking those mid-afternoon siestas, those long naps. Al Franken's he's the guy.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Absolutely.
You gotta find a way to hear it just a little bit.
No thanks.
All right.
After seeing his performance with Aaron Brown as they were trying to outwhine each other around CNN at the Democratic Convention, I think that was enough for me.
I guarantee you that was spectacular compared to the radio show.
I see. I was waiting for somebody to say, try the wine? Maybe Bela Lugosi after he finished calling Eddie. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. So the one caller says that the Howard Stern show ends at around, what do you say, 2 minutes till 2, something like that. We'll find out.
2 to 2.
WQAM, hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know what's funny?
What is that?
The Michael Moore show, the movie.
Yeah.
And there was a part at the end, they should have showed the voting machines on the computers when it actually, whoever you vote for, Bush is going to come up, and they won't be able to track it.
Uh-huh.
So that's where they ought to ended that movie.
Okay, well, I'll call Michael right now and tell him to reshoot it. Okay, or maybe just shoot you. Sounds like a better idea. 567-0560. Don't forget, fool me once. Shame on Ma.
We got a signing in Texas.
WQAM, hello.
Chumba.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil?
Yes.
How are you?
Great.
Well, listen, what happened with this Goldie and Howard David? I just got back from vacation from Europe, and I just was listening.
Oh, you didn't hear about the car crash?
No, what happened?
Oh, we can't talk about it. It was a grisly thing. 5-6. In fact, if you're wondering where any of the people who you're not hearing on QM, they all died. Okay, I mean, it's sad.
Right.
But that just kind of like is a catch-all right there for everything. All the people that you're missing or not missing or glad that you don't hear anymore, they just all died in a big horrendous crash, something like that. Right?
All of these things.
Right.
Al-Qaeda attack.
Sure, you bet. In fact, Tom Ridge will tell you about it when he gives another one of his breathless terror alerts. WQAM, hello.
Hey, man. That guy's...
What is it?
Howard and then George.
Yeah.
Dude, the show ends like at 10:30, man. 10:15, 10:20, every day.
Every day.
Now, sometimes it'll go to like 11.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Till 11.
Neil.
Yeah.
Who is this, Neil or George?
Both.
Okay. Dude, the show goes to like 10:30, man. I listen to Howard all the time.
Right.
The show ends at 10:30, Neil.
So
Nothing to worry about.
About 11. Well, I'm not worried about it. The longer he goes, the less work for us. We're not worried about it in the least bit.
You know, I've been listening to you for 7 years, all over 610, 560. It'll be good for you guys because it'll pump up the ratings a little bit.
It'll pump us up, even bigger than Arnold. Okay, thanks a lot, man. Have a great life and clean up your act. What was he talking about? He says Howard goes on till he goes on until he's out of gas for the day, you know?
Right.
Huh?
Till he's done.
Till he's done. That's right. It's like a bowel movement. Okay, if you're smart, you just sit there until you're done. You don't like rush it. You know, I can't talk about those things. Like I said, like a movement. God, it's getting to the point now where we shouldn't start playing music. We can't talk about anything no more.
Don't say rush it anymore.
Eric sends me the email about a half an hour ago. I forgot to tell you about this. He sends me an email, says, he didn't do anything to the website last Friday. The reason we had the big spike in the response was because of the Ricky Williams video.
Oh,
Which is spectacular. But that isn't what I was talking about the entire week last week. And I know I would probably give you credit for it, but we can't.
No,
because you've been on all summer long anyway. But the point being that all of a sudden on Friday, a week ago, was the announcement that Stern was going to be on the station. And then simultaneous with that, starting on that next Monday, all week long, we had this huge spike. I mean, Friday was extra because of the Ricky Williams video, but this huge increase. So somebody must be discovering us somewhere. And you maybe saw the thing on Radio Inc. the other day. You probably didn't. You don't look at that website. Right. About Stern being the most searched talk host in America by 7 times more than Rush. Rush is number 2. And all the top 20 are syndicated, of course. But 7 times more than even Rush. So all you have to do is get a whisper on any of the websites, or like some of the pictures on there behind the beaded curtain, which I'm sure a lot of the Stern people, the horny, desperate guys, the heavy breathers, those people want to see those naked pictures, like Joan Severance today, which is an old black and white picture of some marginal bitch that George put on there because he knew I was doing the show today.
A beautiful woman.
Tomorrow you'll have naked pictures of Britney Spears again, huh?
I try to save the good ones for you.
Now, you're so full of crap. Don't you think when I was in Amsterdam, I was checking a website every day in that boiling hot, easy internet cafe where it's not easy to breathe?
We had repeats of like 3 over and over again.
You had some smokers on there, man. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah.
There were smokers in the internet cafe, and we had smokers on the website.
Well, the Priscilla Presley batch was a new batch of pictures.
Don't say batch.
I mean, Jamie Presley.
Oh, those were good. What is it?
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, besides the hammer being...
Can't talk about the hammer, man. Can't discuss the hamper, whatsoever, okay? Don't start trying to put us in an impossible position. He is going to be filled in for this afternoon, and all week, I guess, for the next several years, Howard Davided for the suspended Hank Goldberg, who, I don't know, he's been suspended, he's in suspended animation. I don't know what's going on.
He's wearing suspenders.
Yeah. All I know is I love Hank. I'm with Hank. I'm on Hank's side. And if it comes down to us against them, I'm with Hank. If they blow out Hank, I'm taking a walk all the way to the refrigerator.
Just walk.
Wait. Yeah. Oh, and somebody said on one of the British, maybe it was on the BBC.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
After Tom Ridge had that latest green light, yellow light, red light panic alert. It was most amusing, especially for those stodgy Brits. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Man, the Conics are restless.
Arriba, Fidel.
Incredible.
Amen. Whatever you just said, okay? Wow, how sad. No, seriously, I feel so much better about life, but it's only 2.5 hours into the show, but I feel so much better being away from that place.
Yeah.
You betcha. Well, let's take a look at the ratings now, at the leaderboard. Don't get me started on that golf crap again. You know, the CNBC proves what a bunch of blue-nose butt plugs they are. Do you know what they play on a weekend on CNBC?
I have no way of knowing that.
Golf. See what I'm saying? For blue-nose elitist snobs, you know, who like to watch other guys play golf. Oh, and Tiger is having a slump now. And Tiger, oh, give me a break. Oh, get a life, will you please?
He's only 200 par this game.
That is pathetic. 449 votes. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? Marlins win the World Series, 172. Little David Sampson, who comes up to Georgia's kneecap. Now, we don't want to start picking on them again. Huh?
Who?
David Sampson, who comes up to your kneecap, said...
We did it!
Yeah, and everybody made fun of him then, but you better not be doing it now. You're going to get suspended. Marlins win the World Series, 172. WQAM brings back Howard Stern, 94, 21% of the votes. They're like, we'll see. The Heat gets Shaq, 67. Look at that. Mo Howard David fills in for the suspended Hank Goldberg, 44. Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern, 42. Ricky Williams retires, only 26. And WRFX drops sports. They only got 4.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. Rock solid. WQAM.
It's Steve!
Oh!
In Miami town. At 560 WQAM.
What are you eating there?
He's up, Joy.
Well, that's enough. Come on, we got a show to do.
Okay. See you later, he's up.
Yeah, Gildy, thanks. See you at the club tonight.
You know, we got an appearance today at P's House of Meat.
Yeah?
All right, get over here.
Okay.
I need you to take this here electric razor and shave my head to show my love for the shack. Good. Now, while you're doing that, I'll go over this copy here.
We're coming to you live today from P's House of Meat. Easy to find. Across from K. Hook's Pregnancy Clay Emporium. You can't beat P's House of... Hey, I said shave my head. And that's it. What are you putting electrodes on there for? What? For real?
Yeah, it's Nemo. Geldy's lying on the table over there.
What are you doing here?
I got a new gig as a brain surgeon, and I'm going to switch your brain with Geldy's over there. Now just relax. You won't feel a thing. There. My job is done. See ya. Look, I'm over there.
And I'm over there. What?
Now look at the fine mess you got me into.
Sorry, Mo. I mean, hey, you mind if I...
Don't touch that, you moron. No. You can't make yourself. What's wrong with you?
My brain is in your head. That's what's wrong. And with room to spare.
Why, you?
No.
Stop
hurting me.
Why?
Why?
2701 at 560 WQAM. Mad Dog with one of his rare appearances 2 to 4 this afternoon. A team of international observers will monitor the presidential election in November, according to the U.S. State Department. This goes to show you how far the U.S. has come, right? The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe was invited to monitor the election by the State Department. The observers will come from the OSCE's Office for Democratic Institutions and Human Rights. It'll be the first time such a team has been present for a U.S. presidential election. Because in the past, we didn't need other people to come in like a 10th world country and oversee. Right.
Aren't we proud?
The U.S. is obliged to invite us, as all OSCE countries should. Spokeswoman Under Gunderstotter said it's not legally binding, but it's a political commitment. They signed a document 10 years ago to ask OSCE to observe elections, because they tend to be a little bit suspicious, especially when dead people vote in Chicago and the vote total in, Florida. Always comes back to Florida, and it will again. You mark my words, man.
Oh, I know.
Mark it down. 5670560, the audience whipped up into a frenzy about the arrival of Howard Stern next Monday, August 16 on QAM. Aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
WQAM, hello. QAM, Howard Stern line, hello.
5670560, the audience whipped up into a frenzy about the arrival of
Well, just a minute, he's catching up, he's a little slow. Baba Booey line.
WQAM, hello.
WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I'm Neil Rogers.
Speaking.
Neil?
Yes.
You're the best. You are the best.
Yeah.
Is this Neil Rogers?
No, it's Neil Downs. 5-6, you mark my words, you watch. You see this tremendous increase in traffic on our website now, with Stern ain't even on the air yet, and now it is tremendous increase in the quality of our callers.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know. You mark my words, man. In fact, right. I'm not even going to do these bedtime stories anymore, all this preaching to the choir. What's the point?
We'll just be able to go to the phones. And
we can just do Schmear the Queer and Dodgeball and Foosball and all of that crap round the clock, 24/7 now, right?
Absolutely.
Because if you've ever heard the people that called back in the day when I used to listen, you think our callers are something else. Wow. When you got as many millions of wackos listening as Howard does, it's just, there's no end to them, you know. I mean, we just basically have the same ones. Over and over and over again. In case you haven't noticed. No. WQAM, hello.
Oh, sorry, wrong number.
It was a lady and it was the wrong number. Right. Have we had any ladies? How many ladies you had calling all week?
Couple.
Not too many.
No, never.
But and you know the one thing, seriously, the one thing that Howard Stern is going to do, along with, goosing up the ratings on the station, of course, guarantee those bonuses every rating period. He's going to bring people back to AM radio. And I'm not saying this to be an ass licker, because I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass, including his. But he will bring tons of people back to AM radio. Now that is a miracle, in itself.
That'll be good. We'll take that.
Well, first of all, now the thing about women don't listen to AM radio. People under the age of 100, most of them, except sports nerds, don't listen to AM radio.
Right.
So the fact that Stern, he's enough of a magnet, that he's going to bring thousands and thousands of people, zillions, by my estimate, probably
about 30
zillion people back to AM radio, which is quite a trick. Now, the ticket ain't going to do that, okay? With all due respect to my good friend Joe Rose, we love you, Joe, but the ticket ain't going to do that. You know, it's just going to divide up the little pieces of the pie. WQAM, hello.
Oh, my swollen Johnson.
WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good, Pally.
Okay, honest to God, this is the truth here. I was listening to Howard Stern this morning, and they took a Miami caller because he said, yeah, he's going to be coming down on the radio.
Right.
And the guy is busting that you're going to be on an AM radio station instead of an FM station because he can hear you better.
He can.
I don't follow that.
No, I don't either.
I don't follow that at all whatsoever. I mean, you still get to hear his voice. You know, I mean, does it matter if it's FM? Maybe the clarity a little bit. The clarity maybe on some people's radios. Maybe he's in a truck, or maybe he's in somewhere else where he can't hear it too well.
Yes, he sounds like a trucker to me.
I don't know. I just thought I figured I brought that out to you.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Now, did he say anything about QAM or not?
He said a little bit about it, but then that was it. He said for the 16th though, that he's looking forward to being back on the air down there. He said it took him an arm and a leg to finally get it, but he finally got it, so he's really happy. And he didn't bash Beasley yet, so we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see is right. Okay, thanks, Pally.
Okay, man.
Once he finds out that Duff the dump monkey is dumping every other word at that point, well, we'll see just how that works out, you know?
Right.
We'll get spy reports from those people who will be listening. Of course, they won't. I mean, how do you really know? Because our dump is pretty... No, I mean, when you're listening, because if there are too many dumps in there, it interrupts the continuity. You can't understand what the hell anybody's talking about.
I'll listen in the beginning just to see what it sounds like. And you know about the triple delay, right?
I beg your pardon?
We're getting a triple dump system.
Triple dump?
Supposedly.
I think that's in the Athens Olympics, the triple dump.
Yeah.
Wish you ever smelled any of them Greeks over there? I don't want to go into that. They really stink.
You were just talking earlier.
148 degrees over there. Now, the Middle Eastern people and then the Indian people with that Kid Curry diet of theirs, they got some smell problems, and the Paki people, and there are just a lot of smelly people in the world. Right. One thing I will say for us in the Western Hemisphere, in Canada and the USA, is that we smell pretty good. I mean, not that you can't find some real stenchy people around, you know, anywhere you are, but generally speaking, compared to the rest of the world, we smell pretty damn good, you know?
Damn straight.
And if you can't look good, that's my motto. If you can't look good, at least smell good. That's my belief. One thing about me, you'll never catch me with like, you know. Although in that Easy Internet Cafe there, you do have moist pits. Man, just sweating up.
How can you help it?
I know. That's why it's 180 degrees. The humidity is like 5,000%.
Still, as dew-dropped as you were, I bet you smelled better than any of the other people.
Oh, well, yeah, because I smell like my underarm. I smell like my fa. And most of them smell like fat.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 WQAM.
Hey, it's Howard. Howard Sperm.
Never made it as a wise man. Got thrown in prison for petty stealing. Made friends with the inmates. Though they can get touchy-feely, I don't allow them behind me. I won't allow them behind me sneaking up to my can. I won't allow them behind me sneaking up to my can. In the shower, the story. Drop the soap and you'll be sorry. Hey man, they're not faking. They're after you for a little love making. It's so wrong. You bend down to grab the soap, then they pinch your bottom. They like me when I'm wet. Prison life, it ain't been fun, yeah. Yeah, 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 it ain't been fun, yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, it ain't been fun, yeah.
1244-560 WQAM Mad Dog at 2. We got Howard David for the suspended Hank Goldberg at 4 till 6:30. The Marlin pregame show. Marlins on deck at 6:30. Cardinals at the Marlins at PP Park. 7:05, big game. Best team in baseball, St. Louis Cards. They got a better record than even the Yankees, man. And the Marlins, who've been staggering against weak competition, but seem to play better against better teams, so they ought to kick ass tonight. Eddie K after the baseball game, and then are we still going to have that Sporting News Radio?
Right, yeah, sure.
Oh, come on. I mean, we got Howard Stern on in the morning. We're going to give him that as a lead-in Sporting News Radio.
What else is there?
What about Joe and Mark? I mean, Joe without Mark. Joe and something.
Joe and Mo.
Joe and Mo and Defoe and the big... Oh! Yeah, a whole bunch of them.
All the Mo's.
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, yeah, Howard usually goes from about 10:30 to 11, so that's about sign-off time.
11?
About 10:30 to 11, that's about sign-off.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like a deal to me. Thank you. We can handle that. In fact, when in doubt, stretch it out a little bit, Howard.
Sure.
Take your time. Don't rush. In fact, maybe backload one of those 20-minute breaks there, starting about 11:05.
There you go.
And stop and think about this. Now, I don't think we have any more Marlin Day games on our broadcast schedule this season, but stop and think about starting next season, like in...
Ooh.
Huh?
I'm rubbing myself thinking about that.
Those days when we got those Marlin Day games, man. Especially the games that start at the pregame at 12:30.
We could conceivably have an
I think 11 a.m. to 12:30 sounds like a real winner to me, baby. Because that was my first reaction when I had that breathless call from Duff and Clarence. I said, okay, well, if you want to put us on for like 15 minutes, that's okay, as long as nobody loses a dime in pay, as long as I get paid for all of the spots, whether I do them or not, and all these things. They said, oh, okay, sure, and that's it.
Well, we're on the clock. We have to sit here and wait. It's not like we can be out.
Well, first they tried to goy me down a little bit with this business about, Phyllis wants to know, since we're eliminating 2 breaks at 10 o'clock, they're not going to be on 10 to 10:30?
Uh-huh.
And do I want to do those live spots there like at the ass end of other breaks? Did I tell you this?
No.
Yeah. And I said, no, but I'm still going to get paid for them. In other words, they want me to start whoring up this show so we have these long, ponderous... And that ain't going to happen here. See, one thing that they don't understand, length of listenership. They don't get that, understand it at all. In fact, what they do understand, I have no idea what it is yet.
Don't you? Sports.
No, they don't understand that because they're like selling that out. They all of a sudden, like one day they woke up and decided, something, this is for the birds. Because when you started seeing those comments from Eddie Jones and the Dolphins organization about how they would prefer being on a station that's all sports and it makes more sense for the Dolphins, and about the fact that they're a little bit nervous about Stern in the first place, he's on the station that the Eagles are on. There are 3 or 4 other NFL teams that he's on the station, the flagship station that carries the games. Probably the FM that carries them, but he's on those stations.
Yeah.
So why would there have to be a problem in South Florida? They got enough problems of their own, it would seem to me. The Dolphins organization with that horse crap coach and with no real quarterback and with Ricky Ticky busy smoking up a storm. They got enough other problems, the fish to fry. But that just shocked me that, and Greg Reed says, well, the chances are 50-50 and whatever, and we'll see after this season. In other words, they're basically willing to write off the Dolphins, and who knows about this whole Marlin business, which you better not mention anything about that, about this business, right?
Bartzini business.
So maybe one day they just woke up and decided, well, who cares? Because Greg is making comments to Barry Jackass about, sports is a very expensive format and it's hard to do this. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. Like all of a sudden they got religion. And we shouldn't be complaining because we've been knocking the whole sports nerd thing from day one. Since we walked in that door and discovered that we were like in a mental institution of people just overly obsessive with, 12-year-old kids with great arms who are going to be all-star quarterbacks someday in the NFL, crap like that. Not to mention, of course, and that big bald head. 515 votes on the poll. It's, I don't know, come see, come saw. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a good day to be on. I feel like I'm talking to myself, basically.
Yeah.
Am I?
Did you say something?
What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? Marlins win the World Series 202. Nice going, David Sampson and Jeffrey Loria. We love you both. WQAM brings back Howard Stern, 103, 20%. Now, did you do a poll, any kind of poll on Stern coming on or not?
Yeah, what's your take on Howard Stern coming to QAM? Overwhelmingly positive.
Right, like what percent?
Like 50, solid 49% for the option, finally WQAM has a morning show.
Right.
And then there were only like 4 choices, but it was overwhelming.
You mean they didn't come in the middle of the poll and make you take it off the air?
No, not that, no.
WQAM brings back Howard Stern next Monday the 16th, 103 people. The Heat gets Shaq, 75, who are obsessed with, just can't get over it. Mo Howard David that fills in for suspended. Hank Goldberg, 49. Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern, 47. Ricky Williams retires, 35, and WRFX drops sports, 8. 8. Ain't that great in the Sunshine State? There's 8 who just are jonesing for it, baby. They want that sports back on 940. Could happen. I'm thinking it could happen. Like if Air America goes belly up, and there's definitely a possibility of that, and what do they do then? Right? Because most of the shows they're carrying are from Air America. They could always keep Randy on there, but she's on tape anyway. So it wouldn't surprise me if they got, like, waiting in the wings. Oh, guess what? Next Monday we're going back to WRFX. Of course, we had so many call from so many bent out-of-shape listeners. Plus, of course, QAM has decided to go in another direction. So we decided for our loyal sports nerds that we're going back. It wouldn't shock me at all, like in about 3 weeks. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, Neil, how am I supposed to crank call you if it's always busy?
Line 9 is always good, though. QAM, hello.
I'm too nervous to talk. Never mind.
What do you say?
Too nervous to talk? Never mind.
Oh, but thanks for calling, Pally. As our dear departed old friend would always say, in her inimitable way.
Thanks for calling.
Well, I sure miss her.
Yeah.
The world just isn't the same since she moved on.
Faye.
WQAM, hello.
Doi, doi, doi.
Now, that was one of Howard's people. Is there any doubt?
I think that was Howard.
Was that Howard?
David.
Or was that Don Johnson? WQAM, hello.
Yes, hi. I'd like to discuss my displeasure with the radio station bringing Howard Stern back.
Go right ahead. Take all the time you want.
Well, my feeling is it's repetitive. It's boorish, sophomoric, bathroom humor, and penis envy.
Yeah.
I think what the radio station should do, apparently listening to the lack of intellect with the callers, let's have 12 hours of Howard Stern, followed by 12 hours of NFL football. It seems to be what anybody ever wants to talk about. No chance for any intellectual stimulation at all. If you get anything...
Wait a minute. Intellectual stimulation in South Florida? You have to be joking me, sir. I've been on here almost 30 years in this town, and you're telling me that this is a place that's looking for intellectual stimulation?
You know, and if you do listen to the radio talk shows alternatives, everything is just so slanted either left or right. I mean, there's no non-biased talk shows on the radio down here. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Hey, Neil, two quick questions before we get back to our important Howard Stern callers. Any chance in my lifetime of seeing a viable third party so we have a Republican Democratic alternative?
No. I only wish, but the answer is no.
And on a lighter note, your favorite all-time Maple Leaf hockey player?
All-time favorite Maple Leaf hockey, Johnny Bauer.
I'm right with you. Mine would be Dave Keon. Great penalty killer, great backhand.
And maybe someday the Leafs will make up with Dave Keon and make amends for their the bad way they treated him.
Oh, that's horrible. That number's not hanging from the rafters.
Right, amen.
Have a good day, sir.
And back to you. Yeah, let's talk some hockey. What do you say? As a matter of fact, I'm so glad he called, and I know you're not. In fact, let's have a little horse racing from Philadelphia Park.
Up in between horses second.
Huh? What's wrong with that?
What glasses for only $50.
Oh, they're in the middle of a spot. Maybe there's something exciting on Leafs TV, do you think? We missed the... Huh? Well, I can tell you right now, if you just give me, let's see, changing date. What is this all about with my damn cable here, huh? Where I get 80 billion... Leafs lunch with Bill Waters, who's got a big stomach and a big mouth. You're okay in my book, Bill, okay? Got a big mouth and not afraid to use it. Just like somebody we know.
That was funny.
I don't know. It's good. Like I said, it's a very good thing that I'm only on these 2 days a week until the end of the month because I can't, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I want everybody involved and those uninvolved, including Gary Sarner and everybody else. Don't ever call me again at home, Gary. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable with a situation where people keep telling us, I mean, isn't that supposed to be what this show is all about? Yeah. Isn't this where the audience comes to hear all the inside stuff and hear what's really going on and cut away the BS and rip the hell out of the management, deservedly so? And, and this baloney, this excuse, which I don't want to say what it is because that would be self-defeating, but this baloney that they came up with this morning as to why we can't do that is so marginal. I think I'm some kind of a moron? Yes. Yeah. No, they just know that it was payday. I want to make damn sure that check was there, that's all. Boy, you folks over there in Naples, man, you need mental help. And it's like a whole schizophrenic operation now. They want Howard Stern on the one hand, but on the other hand, don't say this and don't say that. And we got this broad named Joyce who fancies herself as some kind of an FCC attorney over there who doesn't know her ass from my elbow. And she's over there, oh, you can't say bag and can't say bag and, you know, anything with a bag. Maybe she's an old bag. Maybe that's her problem.
Hey.
Yeah. God, you can't do anything. So on the one hand, they want to be wild and crazy and cutting edge. I mean, it sure worked well with Pharrell, you know, no question about that. Didn't that work out real well?
Oh, sure.
They just don't know. I've known some people like that. They don't know what direction they want to go in. You ever met people like that? They got like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. By the way, how about the outing of all those Republican, and not just Republicans, but the Democratic Senator Barbara Mikulski from Maryland, as if there was any doubt about that, Dyke? But how about Mark Foley? Oh! Yeah. Kenneth Masmacho, Norma Kent, or Mark Foley? I think Norm's got him beat. Now, what does Charlie Crist have in common with Jesus Christ? 5, 6, 7. Oh, see, I like that. I like that business because all these self-hating fags, all these people like Alice Rantel, who was dragged out of the closet by his little boyfriends there on WFTL that one day many years ago, and is now masquerading as a make-believe right-wing talk show host. Who are you kidding, sweetheart, okay? Man, you kidding Sean or David Cassidy this week?
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. WQAM.
Hello, this is Deloise, and you know, Mama be listening to her Angel Neil Rogers on 1-2 hour.
I know that Shaq would think I'm beautiful on the inside, too.
I'm hoping that Shaq will love me for my mind.
Sometimes sports can be a love story of simple-minded sport holes about their athletic idols.
I know that Shaq would think I'm beautiful on the inside, too.
Hello, I'm Professor Irwin Corey, founder of eJockadate.com.
I think Ricky Williams will love me. I have ganja.
Those who are intimidated by women find comfort in the deep dimensions of idol worship.
Only Shaq knows the secrets of my soul.
Outside of detailing their Escalade for a paltry tip, it probably won't ever happen, but we'd sure like to give you hope. Let us help you. There's a lot of lonely sport holes out there.
For a free 1-month trial to be applied to your credit card in case you don't remember, call 1-888-Athletic Chocolate Popsicle.
So Amsterdam's got a team in that World League of American Football? Don't you think Ricky ought to sign up with whatever the name of that team is?
What's that?
Saturday night, we're live on Radio Newfoundland, 9:30 on your AM dial and on the worldwide website at www.sjnaples.ca.
Anyway, what about that Frank Mahavlich, huh? And Daryl Sittler? 567-0560, pound 560. Want to get as many of these Howard Stern, welcome Howard to South Florida calls as we possibly can between now and 2. And then the other guy that was lamenting the fact that it's entertainment, okay? It's show business. It's a radio show. That's what it is. You like it, fine. If not, good luck to you. This guy is searching for intellectual, he wants his intellect to be fed in South Florida. Good luck to you, Pally. The average IQ in South Florida is like minus infinity. Or I can't say infinity. Minus, right. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Boy, what do you think's going to happen to old Paul and young douchebags ratings when Howard comes on?
See, now this guy said the D word. We can't say that. Joyce said we can't say the bag word. How do you like that? I know that's embarrassing, and I'm sure that they're going to be saying that on certain other shows, but that's okay. We won't. Because Joyce said you won't and you don't and you can't. But he does bring up a good point, but that's it's repetitive. I already brought that up earlier, being as astute as I am, and that is...
Well, David Ross already answered that question in that memo.
Oh, that's right. David Ross in the confidential Clear Channel memo, which you can read on our website, neilrogers.com, in its entirety, of course, right after you finish looking at the Ricky Williams video, which will give you a few laughs. But at any rate, once you get through reading David Ross's brilliant comments, you'll understand that they got nothing to fear but fear itself.
Right, they've got
no. They don't know their ass from your elbow. They have no clue what the hell it's all about. And look at all the controversy we're going to have on QAM. And the fact that he wrote the memo indicates that they're in a total state of panic and they're crapping on each other 24 hours a day. There's no question about that.
They've got that wall of men.
Oh, yeah, right. I think Duff is checking that out today in Naples. Or was that during Fantasy Fest? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Seriously, working for Greg Reed and these people, it's an experience. No, the audience doesn't believe me. They think I exaggerate, that it's all shtick. Like the thing with me and Mo, that was shtick. I still can't get over that.
You, Mo?
Because anybody who was even close, within 100 miles of the situation, had to know that there was nothing, no shtick involved with that stuff. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Man, you talk about the great hate. And then, of course, he had the great hate with Hank, which there's some certain irony in there, the fact that he's filling in, of course, now while Hank is, in
But
limbo.
I'm telling you, and you don't want to believe me, he's a whole new person now since he's got the new do.
Mo?
Yeah.
So, in other words, you're telling me that you're in favor of this situation?
No, I'm not in favor of anything.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
turning your back on my close, fat, personal friend?
I would never. Me and Hank go
Shame
back the
on
wrong
you.
way. I'm just saying that he's
So, in other words, he's butched up and he's got a whole new attitude.
It's amazing to see.
Well, it was Samson in reverse. With Samson, they cut the hair off and he became a real wuss. And with Mo, they chopped off the old pasty wig. They cut off the LePage's glue. And all of a sudden, he became like a mensch, is what you're trying to tell me.
He's pleasant. He smells better.
I'll believe it when I smell it. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Sensational.
This is Jerome, a.k.a. Jamba. I got a message for George. Quit messing with me, man. I'm going to kick your ass.
Come on over. Come on over, Jerome. Come on over.
Jerome is the Chamba guy, huh?
It's Jerome. He works as at the guardhouse and manages a complex.
At the guardhouse where?
He's a guard. He's the guardhouse monkey. He sits there and waves people
through. And where does he do this?
Wherever Mandich lives. No, Miguel won't tell me.
Oh, but we do know, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got news for you. He may not tell you, but he'll tell me. We'll get to the bottom of that. That will be on the air. And your days will be over. You have to find a new hobby.
I have no life.
Jerome. What kind of a name is that anyway, Jerome?
Israeli.
Al-Giro? Huh?
Israeli, I was told.
He's an Israeli? Oh, holy cow. That reminds me of that fruitcake idiot they used to call me at INZ. Another nut job. Man, oh man. What a... Talk about a contradiction in terms. A sane Israeli.
I didn't know we were messing with him.
Yeah, quick. He's going to come and kick your ass, right?
Come on over.
You show up at the station tomorrow, okay?
Come on.
And they're going to drag Jeff High in there on a stretcher, and he's going to kick your ass. I can't believe that he had a TIA, huh? Sure I can.
Yeah. How can you not believe it?
Well, I had two of them. I was very lucky, but I ain't going to have another one. I'll guarantee you that. Only gained 2 pounds on my vacation. George says, gained 2 pounds. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, all right? It would have been a lot more than that if it wouldn't have been for all that exercise. Good food in Germany, man. Food in Amsterdam sucks. If you want food in Amsterdam, go to McDonald's and eat that crap. Or go to the Albert Heijn convenience store there on the dam rack. Don't eat the Dutch food. It'll kill you. The worst. Oh, man. When you go to Holland for the first time, if you ever do, or if you've been in Amsterdam, you see all those real skinny, scrawny people that look like they just came from Bergen-Belsen on a bad day. You'll understand because they don't eat anything, and if you lived there, you wouldn't either because the food is crap, caca. How come it is that Germany, which is right next to Holland, if you look on the map, has got such fantastic food, man? The sausages and the Wurst and the Wiener Schnitzel, all the German food is magnificent. God, they got great food. And you go right across the border on the train, and you get into Holland, it's like fat. Everything is crap. Must have seeped across the North Sea from England, I think. Wouldn't you think?
I would think.
Some of that spotted, slick cod. Maybe some of those cockle farmers can tell us about it.
I think they're shuckers.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to challenge that Chamba guy to a...
That's the same. Oh, brother. Wow. How many times are you going to get with it? Huh?
I have no life. I have no life. I have no life.
Absolutely.
Jesus. WQAM, hello. Well, when are we going to get a female caller then? That's not a wrong number. Now, you said you had a couple during the week.
A couple, but you know.
Just a couple?
Nothing to write home about, no.
Pretty sad. Where have all the ladies gone, man? We used to do good on IOD with ladies, and then, of course, we got on this sports station, which now don't want to be a sports station anymore. They don't know what they want to be. They're all over the place. Oh, we want to be really wild, but don't say this, and don't say that, and don't talk about this. And WQAM, hello.
Howard Stern thinks you're boring.
Good. WQAM, hello.
Mariquita maricón.
That's the same guy. That's the second time in the last couple of months. The same guy. Howard Stern thinks you're boring. See, I don't really care because Howard Stern don't get any diaries in South Florida, okay? He doesn't make me any money. So I really don't give a flying crap what Howard Stern thinks, assuming it's true. Who cares? WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you?
Pretty good.
Hey, listen, I got a story for you here. It just happened. It ties in horrible politics and the South Florida all in one shot. I'm at a gym, won't say the name, and I like to wear little politically charged shirts. And one guy decided to make some of his own politically charged shirts in favor of our commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
And so I let him slide. One day I say, hey, it's a pretty nice shirt, whatever he had. It was kind of stupid, but it was funny. And today's shirt, though, said, Al-Qaeda, coming to a neighborhood toward you, fight terrorism before it's too late, re-elect George Bush.
Oh, boy.
I couldn't let it go. So I just said, hey, you made another shirt. We started getting into it a little bit, and I said, why do you think it's okay to be an Iraq versus this, versus, just any basic conversation. And, of course, I'm just naive, and I'm naive. And then so I just said, Hussein is an evil dictator killing people. Then I asked him, I said, did he kill anybody that you know? Huh? Did he kill anybody that you know? And then he says, well, yeah, fellow human beings. And then out of nowhere, here comes the South Florida tie. This old lady comes up and goes, he kills Israelis.
Oh, there you go. That'll do it for me, yeah.
It's just so sad, and so he's scared of this thing, and I guess that coming into this election, the only thing that matters is Al-Qaeda. What we're doing with our tax dollars, our social situation, the education, healthcare.
Now, the fact of the matter is there shouldn't be any more Al-Qaeda if we would have spent all the billions of dollars that we flushed down the toilet killing all these people and sacrificing our kids in Iraq. If we would have spent that on a real fight on terrorism, then there wouldn't be any more Al-Qaeda, which they lied to us through their teeth about numerous times, by the way.
Anyway, it's just unbelievable to hear. But when she came up and said, they kill Israelis, that was it for me.
Just remember one thing, sir. The Bush people are the evildoers, and don't ever forget it.
Neil, love hearing you. Glad you're back.
See ya. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. See, Bush has this tremendous appeal in America because he's stupid. Around the rest of the world, where they may not smell so good, but at least they got a brain, he don't have any appeal. In fact, they hate him like poison. I mean, like poison. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, they happen to hate a lot of Americans like poison now, too, because by association. It used to be, in fact, right after 9/11, that was the high point in the history probably of this country in terms of worldwide respect. Everybody sympathized for us. They loved us. They whatever they could for us. And then he turned that goodwill of the world around and just into hate in no time at all. Nice going, W. And don't forget what they say in Tennessee and Texas. Once a moron, always a moron. Know what they say? Shame on you.
We got a shame.
Yeah.
Fool me once.
Can't get fooled again. We'll see you in Ochapi, W. In fact, maybe he can retire in Ochapi with his brother, too, with his fat-ass brother. I just shake my head how that man got reelected to just lie through his teeth. Fixed the election with his girlfriend, Katherine Harris. She's got some issues, by the way. Katherine, we can talk about that bitch.
Yeah.
Leaker or liar, Katherine Harris at the center of a brand-new storm. Either leaked classified information or came up with a huge, whopping lie. She wouldn't do that, would she? Yeah. She wouldn't be involved in that bogus election in 2000, would she?
Yeah.
Oh. Must have just made it all up. 12 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM. When you're moving or renovating, that's the best time to dial 1-800-MATTRESS. Make that first night in your dream house heavenly with a brand-new, top-quality, brand-name mattress from Dollar Mattress. You pick the date and time for delivery to fit your move-in schedule. Don't forget, any 2-hour window that's convenient for you, and they'll be there. In fact, Dollar Mattress is on time 99.7% of the time. And nobody's got a better selection of queen and king-size mattress sets ready for immediate delivery than Dollar Mattress. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS right now, you'll get you a great mattress at a discount price that's unbeatable. Dollar Mattress is ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. They were winners of the 2004 Better Business Bureau Local Torch of Excellence Award. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from the complete line of all the top names in the business. They got them all: Sealy, Serta, King Coil, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns, and Bananas Foster. Everybody at QAM is called 1-800-MATTRESS for our mattresses, and you ought to be doing the same, too. Log on to their website, mattress.com, or for a great night's sleep for years to come, just make that one easy call, 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES.
We're Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Pleasure to bring to you the woman who made this all possible, Rosie O'Donnell.
Good evening, ladies, and welcome to my all-lesbian crew. I trust you're all having a good time. I'd just like to kick the evening off with this little number. Down there, between my knees, could be a random lesbian. There ain't no straights on my cruise line, and all of the cabins are numbered 69. You're free to gamble away your micro wallets that hang on a chain. Have all the roast beef that you can eat. And Rosie's lesbian cruise on the chicken of the sea. Armpit hair that gets really long. I disconnected the shower stalls. Don't scratch that lesbian gout. I got monostat for you. No men, as far as I know, are needed to make this march go. So now you're surrounded by moist holes with buns in your arms on the chicken of the sea.
Hey, what do you say there, Captain Rosie?
What do you want, Edwina?
Well, the Vicer office needs you to sign for payroll.
Yeah, later.
Jeez, I don't know about that, Captain Rosie. Their crew hasn't been paid in weeks.
Ladies, I've just been informed that we hit an iceberg. Abandon ship. Let's go.
118 at 560 WQAM. Whenever political junkies get together to chat about Election 2000, at some point the conversation turns to the exploits of Katherine Harris. As Florida Secretary of State, Katherine Harris rose overnight out of virtual anonymity to the center of the political hurricane surrounding the disputed 2000 presidential election. In 2002, recovered from her electoral travail, which she detailed copiously in her book, Center of the Storm, Practicing Principled Leadership in Times of Crisis, Katherine Harris ran and was elected to Congress. By the way, did you hear about her plane?
No, what about it?
Now Representative Harris is experiencing more anguish. She appears to be at the center of another storm, this one having to do with the accuracy of remarks she made at a Bush rally in Florida and whether she leaked classified information. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
On Monday, August 2nd, speaking at a rally for President Bush in Venice, Florida, Harris told the crowd that the administration had thwarted over 100 terrorist plots. She also claimed that a plot existed to blow up the power grid in Carmel, Indiana, the AP reported. According to an August 4th AP story, Harris told the audience that while she was in the Midwest recently, the mayor of Carmel told her how a man of Middle Eastern heritage had been arrested and hundreds of kilograms of explosives were found in his home. He had plans to blow up the area's entire power grid, she was reported saying. The major thing wrong with Harris's story, Carmel city officials in AP interviews claimed they knew of no such plot. We're aware of the comments we read in the paper, said Tim Green, Assistant Chief of Police in Carmel, a town a short distance from Indianapolis. We're not aware of any plans to blow up Carmel's power grid. Nancy Heck, a spokeswoman for Carmel Mayor Jim Brainerd, said the mayor never talked to Katherine Harris. They never had that conversation. Did Katherine Harris disclose classified information, or is it a case of her not knowing what she's talking about? An August 4th press release from Harris's congressional office quotes her saying, I regret that I had no knowledge of the sensitive nature of this situation. But she stood by her comments that the U.S. has thwarted potential attacks in the last 3 years, which she said was based on classified information. Actually, it's been more than 100, she told the Sarasota Herald Tribune August 3rd, adding, it's classified, obviously not classified to me, but things I can't go into details about, kind of like the Humper situation. She said only the specifics of the thwarted attacks were classified. Her statement also pointed out the need for each of us to remain alert and vigilant in fighting terrorism. Katherine Harris is the reason why so many government officials have a credibility problem. Either they don't know what they're talking about or they're violating their own security rules, and who knows which is the case here. Stephen Aftergood, editor of Secrecy News, a publication of the Federation of American Scientists, told me. At an October 2001 press availability alongside Chancellor Schroeder of Germany, President Bush was asked to talk about what prompted him to write the memo to Congress about briefing on intelligence matters. Why do you think such restrictions are appropriate? The President replied that he felt it was important to send a clear signal to Congress that classified information must be held dear, that there's a responsibility that if you're receiving a briefing of classified information, you have a responsibility. and some members did not accept that responsibility, some didn't. Some do whatever this says. So I took it upon myself to notify the leadership of the Congress that I intend to protect our troops. The President also said it is unacceptable behavior to leak classified information when we have troops at risk. And in December 2001, U.S. Department of Justice report titled Attorney General Ashcroft announces interagency task force to review ways to combat leaks of classified information. The Attorney General made it clear that leaks of classified information do substantial damage to the security interest of the nation. The Daily Mislead, a project of MoveOn.org, reported in early August. In an October 2002 letter from Attorney General John Ashcroft to Dennis Hastert, the Attorney General promised that uncompromising attention will be paid to the prosecution. Classified information are deterred by the real prospect of productive investigations and strict applications of appropriate penalties. They'll have no reason to stop their harmful actions, he be saying. Integrity is the right thing when no one else is around, Katherine Harris said in a radio interview recently. Hold steady and you're going to build that kind of character, and if it wasn't for the difficult times, we'd never have a chance to grow. After her recent remarks, Harris has clearly forged another growth opportunity. Will the President call Katherine Harris into the Oval Office to find out what information she may have disclosed? Will Attorney General Ashcroft unleash the investigatory powers of his office to get to the bottom of the Harris revelations? According to the Sarasota Herald Tribune, a staff member of the U.S. House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which oversees the nation's intelligence operations, said he had heard of no such plot. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. If her comments about the Carmel, Indiana incident were true, I expect it to come out within hours or days, said Aftergood, and I might call into question the future of her ability to receive classified information, etc., and so on. How do you like that? Katherine Harris, she could be a liar, or at worst, or a piece of crap. Right, or a big mouth. Jeb said she had a big mouth.
Well, it's plain to see.
That's what I'm hearing. 5670560, pound 560. See, I'm thinking that these bedtime stories, which, it's a little bit of work. I mean, we'll put them on our website, but you think the Stern people want to read those bedtime stories? I know he's got a few on his website now that he's trying to dump Bush. See, maybe if he would have thought about dumping Bush and all these right-wingers before all the FCC started back in February, maybe that would have been a really good idea, instead of, when you sleep with the enemy, that's what Julia Roberts find out. You got real tourists. But what I'm saying is that who knows? Because I don't think they're compatible with that audience. You know, I mean, we have our own audience, obviously, but if we're going to grow this enormous audience that's going to be growing by leaps and bounds, what do you think?
Probably.
Yeah, I agree. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
All right.
Hey, I like this idea that you and that Howard guy's going to coexist. That ought to be interesting.
Yeah.
But my question to you, Neil, is his show, is it going to be syndicated, the one that he does normally throughout the whole nation, or is it just going to be we're all his?
What are you talking about, sir? Are you
no, I'm asking, is QAM, is he just going to do a show just strictly for QAM, or is
of course not. It's the Howard Stern show. He's on like 40-some stations, man. Get some help, will you please?
I have no life.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's going to do a special show. During the commercial breaks on his syndicated show, he's going to come running into another studio.
He's going to
be piping it in strictly just for QAM.
Right.
Right.
He'll be talking about sports. And
there you go, and about what's happening on Biscayne Boulevard, and what's happening up there on Las Olas.
Pig Report.
Las Olas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going on here? Are we having a power failure here or something where I am?
Where you are?
Yeah. I don't think so. But there's something clicking and puking over there on one of the computers. Wouldn't that be something? WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
Listen, I've listened to you for years. I'm 35 years old. I can't tell you how much I still enjoy listening to you. But I have to be honest with you.
Yes.
And I can't really call other shows and complain. Well, I guess I can, but you know what? I don't know why this guy Howard, David, or Mo is on the air. I honestly do not. I do not know. Can you tell me why they keep this guy on the air?
Because they're stupid, because they refuse, because they don't want to pay him off to go away. If they were smart, they would pay him off. They'd say, hey, you got a year and a half left on the deal. We're going to write you a check. You continue with the Dolphins till your contract with them is up. See, he's got a separate deal with the Dolphin games, and if they want to continue with him, that's up to them. But that's over and above his QM deal. So he could continue doing the Dolphin games, and they could just pay him to go away. It wouldn't be the first time that's been done. But I don't know. It looks to me like they don't want to pay anybody off.
Neil, I'm an honest guy. I think he does a great job doing the Dolphin games. I've listened to him on Monday Night Football for years prior to him coming here. But you know what, Neil? He's just not. He didn't do what he said he was going to do and revolutionize sports talk radio. I mean, he never did that, and you know.
No, he said sports talk is boring, and then he set about to prove it, and I think he did a pretty good job.
He did, you know, I think he did that.
That's one thing. You can unwrap all the slime all the time.
Yeah.
And for him to try to take over Hammer Spot, because I know what's going on there. Maybe you guys can't talk about it, but ESPN owns another radio show, another gig, and that's where he's going, and obviously the little dog is going over there, or he already went over there. And
well, they claim that Hank is not going there. That's what was in the paper yesterday, I think.
Yeah, well, you know, I hope he doesn't, but if he does, you know, I definitely won't be listening to 4 o'clock in your guys' show. I'm sorry, but not as long as Mo's on the air there, so. But I love you, Neil, no matter what.
Okay, Pally, thanks for the lick, John. Have a great day. Thanks.
All right.
Okay. So what's this guy trying to say? You don't like Mo?
Absolutely.
Come on, man. Mo is a new man. That's what George is campaigning. He must have done something to you or with you or about you or...
he let me touch it.
I don't know.
He let me rub his head.
Wow.
It was tingly.
Back in the day, I might say something about that, but...
This is Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Were you drudge packing? And another thing, if you'd have listened to me, you would have been a big star by now. With that little bit-squeak voice, how do you expect to get anywhere, you little beauty puke? We say puke? I don't even know what it is.
The more I hear you.
Yeah, what about it?
The more I hate you.
Hey, what do I hear?
And when I hear you, I wanna die. Your peccary, no toenail cheese aroma. Puts me in a coma and points my eye.
Why, you iota, smack you. I know my smell attracts you. But unlike Zach, you still got a job. I feel just like that you are my kid brother. And one yiddy to another. That's why you are still not buying. Doi, 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 doi. Doi, 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 doi. Doi, 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 doi. A morning show can put you in a coma.
Absolutely.
And wait till it's over. All right, that's enough.
27:02, Mad Dog at 2 this afternoon. I wonder what the Mad Dog's take is going to be. When was the last time he was on?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to. Last week sometime.
Yeah. I know he wasn't on yesterday. We had Curtis Stevenson was guest hosting yesterday, which is why Mad Dog had such big numbers in June. A lot of Curtis. Listen, I just don't know what to make of this. One thing about Greg Reed, I've always said, there's the right way to do things, and then there's the Greg Reed way to do it. He's kind of like some of those Chinese, always wrong, man. Always. At least he's consistently bad. As he breaks it again into 85 billion little pieces, can Greg put the egg together again? An SN Brussels airliner made an emergency landing after an agitated passenger, a cat, got into the cockpit and attacked the co-pilot, the airline said today. The flight yesterday from Brussels to Vienna, Austria had been in the air about 20 minutes when it was noticed that a passenger's pet had escaped from its cage, although it's not yet clear how, according to an airline statement. Once free, the animal proceeded to wander around the cabin, slipping into the cockpit when meals were being delivered to the two-man flight crew, it said. At this stage, the animal became agitated and nervous, it said. An airline spokesperson added that the cat scratched the co-pilot's arm. The pilot, don't they have microwaves on planes?
You'd think.
The pilot decided to return to Brussels as a precaution, and the 58 passengers left Brussels 2 hours later on another flight. The cat had been checked in Oslo, Norway, in an internationally approved flight transport bag, but the airline said it may end up changing its procedures for pets in the cabin once it concludes its investigation. At no time throughout the incident was the passenger security affected in any way, they'd be saying. SN Brussels, never heard of it. You?
No.
Well, being the international flyer that you are. Right. By the way, the food on KLM sucks. and they have no idea, no clue how to board a flight. Man, it's just chaos. When European Airlines board a flight, chaos. Another reason I just pray. I will get on my flying carpet and pray that Air Canada never goes out of business, because they sure know how to do it right. But, man, these international airlines, Alitalia, KLM, it's just chaos. It's part of that European pushy, rude kind of thing, where everybody, they see one person going toward the line, and right away everybody's rushing up there. No, just people with small children, please, just business class, and they're all pushing and shoving, and then they stink, too, Now, seriously, my love affair with Europe is as many fantastic places there are to visit and the sea and the food and a lot of things. It's tempered greatly by the fact that the hygiene of the Europeans and a lot of the people from other parts of the world who wind up being there are just a little bit lacking. You know what I'm saying? In other words, they stink.
And I wonder why that is, because aren't we the colony? Aren't we supposed to be the barbarians and they're the continent,
I don't know what the deal is. All I know is we smell a lot better than they do.
They know their art and...
maybe with the guys, maybe it has something to do with that foreskin, which seems to be, an epidemic all over Europe.
Although it
sure don't help the Arabs being circumspect, I'll tell you that.
Exactly. Or any of those Middle Easterners.
5670560 #5. Something stinks at QAM, I'll tell you that. We can't tell you what it is, but something. That's what I think it is right there. Yeah, something stinks. Yeah, back at you.
Well, it ain't the rat anymore.
The rat? Oh, the muskrat. No.
Right.
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good.
It's like having Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig back-to-back with you and Howard.
Number 3 and number 4.
And the other thing, Howard mentioned that last week when he was talking about Huizinga. Huizinga's been flying around Jeb Bush on his private plane. That's the reason why he, and Bush gives him gifts like caps on rental car damages and all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh my God!
And political favors. That's the reason why he doesn't want Howard Stern on the station. You there?
I'm listening. I didn't follow it. I don't understand.
Okay. Well, Huizinga and Bush are friends, Jeff.
Yeah.
So Howard Stern has been as much of a critic of George Bush as you have lately.
Yeah.
So Jeb and Huizinga are friends.
Right.
So, and Jeb gives Huizinga political favors.
Yeah, you told me that, yeah. What does that have to do with Howard Stern?
Well, Howard Stern's criticizing his brother. He doesn't want George Bush by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, Robin announced this morning that if George Bush gets in, she's gone. She's gone to another country.
Yeah.
That's what she said first.
Well, I got a head start on both of them. How do you like that?
Yeah, well, she'll be with you. But, that's the political end of it. That's the reason why the Dolphins are hesitating about being on your station, because Jeb and Huizinga are best buddies.
Well, how do you like them apples? That clears it up for me.
It's amazing.
We'll pack him a salami sandwich, man.
One other thing. On the Howard David thing.
Yeah.
How come these guys like Howard, why are they so serious about things like Ricky Williams or Shaq or whatever, when there's obviously these other things in the world that mean so much more than this nonsense?
You see, I can understand if somebody is going to pay me to talk about sports or to pay me to talk about whatever the topic is, and that's what I'm hired to do. I can understand that, that's what you're going to be more interested in, but I agree with it. That's what turns me off, is they take it to such a level, like they appeal only to those people who are so intense and share the same kind of one-dimensional mindset. I can't relate to it. I hate it.
The only one that does is Ed Kaplan. He's good with a social conscience. These other guys are it's ridiculous. They're just so intense. Nonsense.
Good luck to us, Pally. Have a great day.
Thank you, Neil.
See, going back to what the guy said before about Mo and about Hank and about this one. See, I've said this before to you. Now, naturally, because we all eat out of the same trough, and I don't see too many underfed people at our station, so we must be eating a lot.
No.
But we'd love to see people listen to QM 24 hours a day, or at least all of their waking hours. Now, that ain't going to happen. It's just, people don't do that. Unless, of course, they're Hispanic and they write down WQBA. But it's just unrealistic. So the way I live my life is like, for example, when I watch television, I know I don't watch networks. I don't watch one particular.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
I watch programs that I like. I watch shows that I laugh at, that I find are interesting. I watch A&E, Investigative Reports, which I think is a great show. I watch whatever, huh?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. But whatever I like. So we got 80 million channels, and the same with radio. And it gets a little ponderous to me. I mean, I don't mind letting people blow off a little steam, but Jesus, I mean, we're not going to be able to, and just when we thought we had the world by the balls here, and we're after this great book, and then we got Stern coming on next Monday, and now it's like we got another crisis, because Greg Reed cannot run a business without having a crisis every damn week. I've never seen anything like it. Every time you turn around, there's another crisis, because he doesn't know how to deal with people. That's the biggest problem of all. He won't deal with people. Everything is behind the back, through some other conduit, through Duff, through Clarence, through this one. Never a face-to-face or even the last phone conversation I had from that man was, about a year and a half ago? Thereabouts. That he called to congratulate me on a great rating book, and by the way, I've decided to terminate George Rodriguez because somebody, I don't want to mention no names, was throwing a hissy fit about those emails, which is just a humorous, a funny thing, and then later apologize. Well, I got carried away. It's always like a bad marriage with that guy. Always slapping, beating the wife up, and I'm sorry, honey, I didn't really mean it. I was in a bad way. That kind of thing. Yeah. When you shop for quality footwear, great selection and professional service, there's only one place to go, and that's Brandy Shoes in Pompano Beach. Boy, these people have been around a long time, so you know they're doing a lot of things right. At Brandy's, you'll find the biggest selection of men's and women's shoes, the best service, and the best breasts, and the best prices in town, period. At Brandy's, you'll find top-quality names like Rockport, Florsheim, SAS, Sperry, Timberland, Naturalizer, and lots more. With Brandy's huge selection, chances are you'll never hear, sorry, we don't have that style and size. In fact, you can bet Greg's life on it that whatever style suits your fancy, they're going to pull it off the shelf and slap it on your foot right away. Brandy's is open daily, Monday through Saturday from 9 to 9, Sundays 10 to 5, and you'll find them at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. It's always worth the trip no matter where you are because you can't beat them with a stick. All this week at Brandy's, get big savings on men's Florsheim and women's Naturalizers, and Rockport Pro Walkers are only $44.90. So be sure to come into Brandy's for great savings as always this week, or visit them on the web at Brandy's Shoes. That's with, 3 S's, BrandyShoes.com.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, God.
And I'm the big...
Oh! What's that stand for? Orgasm?
No, that's just short for Orlando Bloom.
You don't look Jewish.
No.
No.
Now Neil's going to rip me for 4 hours.
Well, I've been asked to keep this in strict confidence. But in case you're wondering why we're here, Joe got suspended!
Maybe we should take this call from our special guest, Roberto Luongo.
Hiya, Roberto! You know that I'm the voice of the Panthers now?
Yes. Hey, aren't you that squeaky voice guy that goes by all the time?
Oh! You got me confused with a character on another show. That's not me. I have children, you know.
Doi.
You have a funny name. Okay, what's this call?
Why did you...
Doi. Well, we can't get into that right now. Do the music! Hey, Joe! I don't want you walking out of here with just this thing in your hand.
Come here!
Hiya, Joe.
I want to crush your head like a peanut.
Yeah. 147, I forgot about Joe getting suspended, too. That's another part of Greg Reed's is a kindergarten. Lots of suspensions. Now, you never got suspended. Almost got fired at it because of your newfound buddy there. I don't do suspensions. I already told them that right up front. I don't do suspensions, paid or unpaid.
Damn it.
It's for like school kids. But it's part of the Greg Reed effing way.
Go stand in the corner.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I was president of my 8th grade class when I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
I guess they don't call it that anymore. Well, whatever they call it.
It's elementary.
What do they call that? Is it?
Yes.
Watson? And one of the things that I had to do was order the class rings for the graduating class.
Okay.
And for whatever, I don't remember. I mean, it's about 100 years ago. But I was like a little tardy in getting around to the final details of it. And Miss Helfer, that was her name, a nasty old dyke. I mean, she was our history teacher. She was the one who did the Ninta, the Pinta, and the Sinta Marinta.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. But at any rate, so she had me come up. The kids are writing whatever they're doing or taking a test. Has me come up to her desk to ask me about did I do this? And I had to give her the answer that it wasn't. It would take another few days. Go back to your desk and stand. Do you know what that's like?
Yeah, humiliating.
There's like 29 of your peers, kids sitting at their desk, and they watch you stand there with your. I should have taken a broom and stuck it so far up her ass that the handle would have come out through her earlobe. Is that incredible or what? Go back to your desk and stand. Well, that's the way QAM operates. You know, go back to your desk and stand. Go back to your microphone and stand there and dummy up and you're suspended. Everybody sooner or later gets suspended so that Greg can feel like a real man, which, believe you me, from what I hear, he's not. What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most... See, a real man, he can talk to you face to face. He can have a conversation without, like, peeing in his pants. He isn't going to avoid your phone calls. He isn't going to jerk you around. He's not going to, like, play cat and mouse with you, like go into hiding all the time. He's not going to go out of town on vacation right now at the most crucial time, just like when we first went on the air in the station 7 years ago. Where was Greg, who was in a panic because he knew the equipment was all a piece of crap and it would be a miracle if we ever got on the air, which by some miracle we did? He was in Chicago with his family on vacation, hiding. That's what he does best, hiding. Anyway. Am I getting the point across or what?
No, what are you saying?
He's a piece of crap. 632 votes on the poll. That's not too bad, I guess. What do you expect? It's not like a scintillating poll. We don't have a lot of great choices on there, right?
Right.
What South Florida event of the past year do you think was the most important? The Marlins win the World Series, 249. Even George is a little bit whipped up about them. I guess he's not. Huh?
No.
Even you would like to say...
We did it!
Huh?
But I won't.
We. Marlins win the World Series 249. WQAM brings back Howard Stern 129, 20.4%. Not bad, I don't know. I thought it'd be bigger than that. The Heat get, what's his name? Thank you. 88. Mo Howard David fills in for the suspended. There's another one of those suspensions. Hank Goldberg. And let me say it again. Hank has a name, okay? The fact that he may be in some controversy right now, or is, that's a given. And, you know, we're not able to discuss it on here, the details and for whatever contrived reason they got. But those are I don't want to tell other people what to do on a radio station, but it sounds so horseball. It sounds so bad. You know, they're giving a lineup. Well, Neil is on today, or George is on tomorrow, whatever, and then Mad Dog, and then Howard David fills the 4 to 7 slot. As if Fatso, as if all of a sudden he doesn't have a name anymore, as if we don't even know who the hell he was. Let's not get too carried away, okay, with his obsessive obedience, is my suggestion. Agreed?
I'm a homo?
Howard David fills in for suspended Hank Goldberg, 57. Clear Channel dumps Howard Stern, 54. Ricky Williams retires only 44. Not even in the same category with, what's his name?
All right.
No, not you. That one. And WRFX drops Sports 11. Way there in last place, holding up the ass end 11, which is a pretty heavy number considering their audience. Considering their minuscule audience. And if you think their audience is small, WFLL, isn't that 1400, that Carl Bananas Foster station? Which he's threatening to sue the Ticket and ESPN because it was his idea. Oh, please. Line 9 is the best. QAM, hello.
I hope, hang on, coming back.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, George.
Yes.
Question. I've been away on vacation.
Is this Gary Sarner?
No, I wish it was, but it's not.
Do you hear the way that caller said
sure
that?
Was.
Question. That sounded just like Gary Sarner. Question. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was just wondering what happened with all these, let's go back to vacation, what happened with all these suspensions?
Can't tell you. Big secret. Call up Colin Powell. Call up Don Rumsfeld. Talk to Tom Ridge. He'll give you some warnings about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Can't tell you. All I can tell you is that at 2 o'clock, Jim Mandich will be on today. The Mad Dog will be on. He'll make one of his rare summer appearances. Howard David, like it or not, will be on 4 to 6:30 this afternoon, filling in for the suspended Hank Goldberg. 6:30 Marlins on deck. Cardinals at the Marlins, 7:05 at PP Park up the street there from QAM. And Eddie K after the baseball game as always. Old dependable Eddie K. Now there's a good guy who keeps his nose clean, right?
Right. Never stole a freight train.
There you go. When you do as much gambling as Eddie does, you have to keep your nose clean. Hey, if we are what we eat, then why don't we just eat better? Well, the truth of the matter is we are creatures of habit, and when it comes to eating, we don't want to give up those comfort foods. Our taste buds basically rule our logic. For those of you out there on low-carb diets, you know how hard it is to live without pizza. So if you're on one of the low-carb diets, we're not talking to you non-dieters, Cuttin' Carbs Cafe's got a real treat for you. Cuttin' Carbs Cafe, located in Sunrise, is building up a following for its multi-grain pizza. They're multi-grain pizzas full of fiber that delivers great taste. Imagine that, a pizza you can eat while staying true to your diet. It's all about their philosophy of good, low carbs. Cuttin' Carbs Cafe understands you owe it to yourself and your kids to eat better, so how about eating a tasty pizza with fewer carbs and turning those carbs into lean muscle? Give them a try. Call them at 954-514-0001. That's 954-514-0001. They're located in the same plaza as Applebee's and Office Depot out in the Sawgrass. Call them today at 954-514-0001. Cuttin' Carbs Cafe has also got an assortment of way out wraps, Sobe salads, carbodillas, as well as some fat-free low-carb ice cream. Is that carbodillas? I said it's a dilla. Just jot down this number, and soon you'll be eating delicious pizza made fresh to order and stop feeling guilty for a change. Don't delay. Call them now at 954-514-1. That's 954-514-1. And tell them that old Neil sent you by.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM. WQAM.
Abu Ghraib.
Don't like all the heartburn. Every time I see that retarded dimwit on my TV. He's President Trump. Republicans muscled in, an inarticulate idiot. I don't know why they would want this guy, but now he's here. We're screwed the next 4 years with President Thumb. Oh, what I did to count votes once more and get who we all voted for. This lips drumming stupid teeth. Mindless drunk and rich kid. He's even dumber than me. Here's President Trump. You don't care what it took. You got him in by hook or crook. The Christian right knows what's best. You and I, but have no fear. We've got a great leader here with President Trump. President Trump.
Bye, bye, bye! The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.